Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Funday. We're going to have a great live, guys. So my co-host is Brampton Gardner at 7 o'clock, which is we're right about now, maybe 7:02. How about that? We have Heirloom reviews at 8:20 to 8:40. We have Mountain Grandma and Yogi Hollow Farm. And 8:40 to 9, we have Creatively Created Crochet or Triple C. That's how I always known her, Triple C. And her husband is Joe's Bowling, Sports, and Ministry Talks TV. And they're youth pastures too. So it's a lot of great stuff going on. We got some great channels. So if you want to become a member of the channel, it starts at 99 cents for a Zucchini Club, Jelly Beans $4.99, Superheroes $9.99, Joseph's Journey is $19.99. We got a lot of great stuff today. Anybody that wins big prizes, Lazy Days Ahead gave us all these. We got wristbands and stuff. So anybody who wins a big prize, you're gonna get one of these from Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead. So that's exciting. Rachel just got disconnected. What happened with that? Oh, Kim, thank you so much for becoming a new member. That is so awesome. Oh, Rachel's back. We got some hot stuff to give away too. We got Cornferno, the hottest popcorn in the world, and a whole bunch of other hot pepper sauces, Chocolate Plague, Eye of the Scorpion, and tons of yarn books. Let me see. 1 second. I know we got to get going here, but I want to show you some stuff before I get started. So we got some of this Animal Cuties, and so it shows you what they are. So we got a little bit of everything for everybody. And if you don't want something, a popcorn yoga always could choose seeds, and we'll have seed winners too. So welcome in Rachel Brampton Gardner. How you doing?
I am doing great.
So I'm so excited. So excited to have you on in the first place.
I'm excited to be here. I'm finally on the well, I've been on before being interviewed, but I'm on the other side. And no pressure.
Well, I'm gonna give you the pressure. You could ask.
Oh no, I get to ask all. No, hey Mike. Hi chat, everybody.
You're welcome, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. So, Heirloom Reviews. His name is John. Well, I've known John for at least 10 years, and like when YouTube started, he always did these reviews. He's trying to figure out how to go on. He's a New Jersey guy. He lives in Pennsylvania now. I think he has 27,000 followers. And it's heirloom plants. I mean, everybody wants to learn about tomatoes and learn about hot peppers. This is your man. This is some really impressive stuff. All questions get answered at 8 o'clock. So if anybody answers a question, wants a question raised during the chat, we're not following that. We're trying to make all our attention on John. So just try to save them to 8 o'clock, and I really appreciate that. It just makes everything flow. So that's important. Rachel, I got so many goodies next to me. I'm like, whoa. I want to eat it myself right now.
Oh, no. So, all I have is ice water, so I'm safe.
Well, I got Gatorade. So welcome in Heirloom Reviews. This is John. How you doing?
Welcome. Hello.
Hi, John.
How are you and how is everybody?
We're good.
We're ready to roll. Actually, I went to a minor league baseball game today.
Oh,
and
okay.
The people that were giving us tickets, my son had cancer for 3 years. Okay. And this organization called Fighting Hard helped us out tremendously. And so they said, hey, you want to go to a baseball game? Sure. Hey, don't worry. All food's on us. Any kind of game you want, anything you guys want, it's on us. Like, how exciting is that? So we actually won in a couple games. We won in basketball. You know how you had that long coop and it's all the way up high and you barely could get it in?
Yeah.
Joey got one in right away. I was
really?
I'm like, all the pressure's on me right now. Oh my God. And I got one in. I'm like, oh, I didn't spend any money. This is great.
You're clear now.
Yeah. Don't choke.
And then we had one of those little things. You roll a ball and you have to hit a certain dot. And we won in that too. So it's a sure thing, Rachel. It's a sure thing.
It's a sure thing.
but they make them really impossible to win. And we're like, we got prizes. This is great. The only thing you win that ashore is the dark scan. So you
It's
win like
been
a little.
while, yeah. Seaside Heights, I take it. No.
No, this was at the minor league game. They have, they have a section where you can play mini golf and other things. They have like a little boardwalk games. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know any minor leaguers, and I'm a Mets fan, not a Philly fan. It's a Philly organization.
Oh, okay.
So, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good.
Okay.
I went to one like kind of, I don't know, city baseball game years and years ago. It was terrible. It was so boring.
Did they at least
scored? I don't know. It was like it wasn't high school. It wasn't college. I had never even heard. I didn't even know our town had the team until like I went with some friends. It was not. Well, it was not great.
At least
was that when you were in Canada, or is that where?
No, that was back home in Oregon. And I also went to some off-brand hockey game once too, and like there was no fights. It was weird. Like, so basketball is where it's at. Sorry. I grew up in high school. I was a huge basketball fan.
So before we get started, I want to show you guys where you can find John. Heirloom Reviews.
He's
so
right
his Facebook page. It's not there anymore. What happened to it?
I found him.
No.
If it's Meta, I still can't figure out how to set that up. Meta is like, it's supposed to be like combined with Facebook, but it's like a different thing. It's like when you contacted me, that was on Meta. That wasn't even on Facebook.
It bounces around. Like sometimes I'll get a message and I'll get a notification. And it was just random that I saw the notification from Joe as well on there because it came in under my page, and it's in Meta, so it wasn't like even through Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a weird notification. I'm like, what the heck is that? They keep changing it.
Yeah, it's like what G Plus used to be like. Remember G Plus? I used to have to jump all over the place to get something done. That's what Facebook is like. It's like now they created this Meta. It's supposed to be part of Facebook, but anytime you go to access it, it brings you somewhere else, and now you're lost. And so when you contacted me, that was on Meta. I was like, wow, that was weird,
Okay, so this is his YouTube page.
There you go.
And he goes live. I mean, he goes live for 3 or 4 hours, which is really cool. So here, look at this live, guys. 5-hour live. How do you do that? That's a freaking amazing.
It depends on the audience. To be honest with you, if there's a good audience, then I don't mind hanging out. But if there's nobody there, then you can't really, you can't hold the show without anybody there,
And you got to start earlier than 7.
Yeah. Well, actually, believe it or not, if you start late at night, it's actually pretty good.
I can't stay out.
I know.
I'd be falling asleep. I'd have to switch it to a sleep stream.
You get the strange crowd comes in at that time.
Look at this live. 7 hours and 36 minutes. This one below here, 6 hours and 30 minutes.
Remind me not to be a co-host on John's list.
those are some old. Those are actually some pretty good live streams I did way back in the day. Way back at maybe 2015 or 16, something like that.
But look at these reviews he does. I mean, how many people have heard of some of these peppers or tomatoes? They are not around there. So, John, where do you find these tomatoes and peppers? Where do you? How do you research this?
Well, it really depends on availability. Really, sometimes I'll have a list and I'll start looking for like what I'm looking for on the list. But then I start coming across other stuff, so I start buying that stuff. But a lot of it's just by luck. I happen to come across. I look at all the main websites. I see if there's anything interesting, and then I'll jump into it and kind of buy it that way. But a lot of the other stuff you see on there is just random chance, believe it or not. I just happen to come across it while I'm looking for something else, and then next thing you know, I'm like, wow, let me try that one. Let me try that one. So I buy a bunch of them. A lot of times I'll buy, say, I don't know, as far as like tomatoes go, I might buy like 200 tomato varieties. I might only grow like 150 of them out. And the other ones will have to get added on to next year or the following year. Or I grow them out and they never fruit. I get, you get that kind of situation. So, a lot of stuff you don't know, but I've already bought years ago. And I've just been trying to grow it for several years to try to get fruit out of it and then maybe offer or try to do a review on it. But yeah, that's how it is with me. I'm always in it, and I'm always like looking and buying and just circulating through whatever's out there. That's how I come across stuff.
What's the most surprising, first a tomato, then a pepper that you ever try? Like you had it, you grew it, and you're like, this might not be that good. And all of a sudden you had it, and it was like, wow, this is really good. This is awesome.
Believe it or not, one of my own. I know it sounds weird, but
is that the Hellfire?
I mean, no. I got a tomato that I crossed over with a I'm trying to remember the name, Solanum galapagos. Like the I know it's going to get complicated here, but I crossed the tomato over, and this particular one is like really different tasting than like all the other tomatoes out there. So it's very unique in flavor. It's kind of shocked me because I was like, wow, that's a really strange flavor. It doesn't even really almost taste like a tomato, almost tastes like a berry or something. Some of the other ones that were kind of like shocking, almost disappointing a little bit would be like the wild tomatoes, because I thought they might taste pretty good. And you wouldn't want to make tomato sauce out of those. They're just kind of a hobby thing. And as far as like the other tomatoes go, I mean, there's so many of them. It's hard to think of them offhand. Like San Marzano, a lot of people think that that's a great tomato, and it actually is a really good sauce tomato. But if you're going to like eat it raw, it's a lot of people are disappointed when they grow it because it's
a little mealy.
I'm sorry?
It's kind of mealy.
Yeah, it's dry.
I find it that paste me. I don't make sauce,
dry.
So I don't bother with any paste type tomatoes.
Yeah, if you're cooking them, what you do like with those tomatoes, there's several ways to cook them. You can mix them with other tomatoes, so you can just put them in a blender and just like blend it up. It'll give your tomato sauce a little bit more body because they're kind of on the dry, pasty, chalky side, grainy side. But if you try to cook them by themselves, you got to reduce it, and I'm not a big fan of reducing tomato sauce. I'm just not. It makes it more acidic, and it gives the flavor more of a concentrated, overcooked flavor. It's not the type of stuff that I look for. But then again, there's a lot of people who do like that type of flavor.
I like a fresh marinara. I like that. I like a more of a fresh flavor to it where it doesn't taste like it's been cooked so much.
Well, it's not so much that. It's like, what's the consistency do you like? Do you like your tomato sauce watery, or do you like your tomato sauce to have like a uniformity? That's really the big difference. As far as like the flavor and everything else goes, it depends on your application of the sauce. If you want like a spaghetti and you put like a spaghetti sauce on it, it kind of sticks to the spaghetti, but it doesn't separate. You get water on the bottom and tomato sauce. So some people are really particular with it. With me, I would rather have it more watery than that, pasty consistency, overcooked type. So I look for it more to be watery. Now, when you talk about San Marzano tomatoes, they're a better tomato for trying to get that effect, if that's what you're looking for. But if you're just someone like me, you're a garden person, you want to grind your tomatoes, make a good sauce, just put them in the blender, grind it up a little bit, chop it up with the skins, you're fine with that, and then just kind of, cook it down, but don't overcook it to the point where it's like trying to make it like, like a Hunt's tomato sauce in a can or something.
Yeah.
Leave it so it's watery. That way you can reincorporate the tomato sauce into your dish as you eat it. And that way your sauce isn't dry and chalky, but yet it's very flavorful and rich. That's the way I always like to eat it. I really never been a big fan of like dry sauces. And when a lot of people, when you talk about like Marzano tomatoes, San Marzanos and stuff, they're a dry type of tomato. They're the ones you have to reduce to get that kind of effect from it. And when people try to make sauce with it, they ask me, how do you do that with the sauce? It's just a lot of work. That's why people incorporate tomato paste, and then, they'll incorporate it with their sauce so they can get that thickness to it. But like I said, I'm not a fan of that. But then again, you don't know until you try something new,
Now, the soil makes a big difference, too.
The what?
If you have like Jersey soil, hey, I'm just the way it is. Jersey soil is great for tomatoes.
It's the best. It's
It is the best.
Jersey soil's very special because it's very glacial. There's a lot of glacial properties to Jersey soil. If you look at, if you go and visit a lot of the mountain ridges in there, you can see the glacial scrapings on the side of the mountain. So there's a lot of glacial aspects to that soil. So it's very mineral rich. But Jersey is also known for their biological soil. So you probably hear a lot about what's that called? Like the Environmental Protection Agency, buffer zones where you can, build on your property and stuff. There's like these zones. A lot of that is based off of that soil that's in your ground. And there's this kind of weird stuff. It kind of looks like creamy clay, but it's actually a living organism. It's actually like a type of bacteria that lives in the ground, and it's been there for like millions of years or something. And every time you disturb that, you kind of like break it up. And they're trying to protect that. And it's all over Jersey. It's everywhere. It's this weird kind of creamy looking clay soil. But if you ever like mix that into your soil and plant in it, oh my God, you should see what your plants grow on that stuff. It's amazing.
I've
They
never
sell
heard of that.
seeds from there too. It's in South Jersey somewhere where they have that soil.
Yeah,
And
you see that everywhere. Actually, it's all around. It's up in North Jersey. It's south. It's there's some areas are more than others, but yeah, if you got a piece of land, and don't ever call like the EPA or anything. They'll have to rip your house down or something. But yeah, if you could plant in there, oh my God, you'll see plant growth like you never seen before. It's unbelievable.
So I'm going to go right to where you can buy John seeds. So if anybody has any questions, please save them all the way to the end. 8 o'clock, just look at the Vineyard Chicks gifted a membership. Thank you so much to the Vineyard Chicks, and Built on a Rock Homestead got the membership. So congratulations, and thank you, Vineyard Chicks.
Big thumbs up.
That is awesome. That you guys don't know how much that helps out channels. It's very. I'm so thankful. So this is hrseeds.com. But look at this picture, John. This is an awesome picture.
That's
when you
beautiful.
That's actually, I don't know where is that? That's not my website, is it?
Yeah, look, HR Seeds.
That's Google, I think.
I don't know, but I went to HR Seeds. That's where I got this from, and this is the most awesome picture ever.
If only John had ever seen it before.
I try to achieve that once a year. I don't know what that is. I don't know what website that is.
Yeah, it's hrseeds.
Okay.
Squared out site, but I said hrseeds.com.
Okay.
Only if somebody booched your site.
No.
That's
probably
a different link than I have.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not the
weird.
one I have.
Looking at it. And they use the same HR though.
Yeah, I'm on a couple of places. There's like Square, and then there's
I dropped the link in the chat for the link from his website. Is that the
so
same?
once you click on that, it goes directly to this.
Now a lot of my stuff is out of
Mine
stock.
went to a totally different website.
Yeah, this is Squarespace or something. I got a couple of places that I don't really use them, but they're there, unfortunately. But
well, as long as it goes to you.
I guess.
This is really weird because I bought a lot of seeds here and I'm like, oh no.
Not from here.
Now you grew your own pepper this year. Can you talk a little bit about that?
What, my peppers?
Yeah, the hot pepper that it was your own creation. It's the Hellfire pepper.
Oh, Hellfire chili. Yeah, that one's still kind of in the works. It's still stabilizing, but it's doing better. Now, what happened is when I first crossed that pepper, my first or my second year crossing it, I think it was my F2, I came out with a pepper where it kind of had two attributes to it. One was kind of like the background of it was like red, but then there was these bloody streaks in it, very dark brown or dark red blood streaks in it. And so I was hoping to try to maintain that. But what ended up happening is the following year when I went to regrow that again, it's separated. So what happened was I got the red ones, just red without the blood streaks in them, and then I ended up with a brown one, but it's not really brown. It's almost like a really, really, really blood red, dark red, almost brown color. And so now I got both of those. It's separated, but at one time they were connected together, and it was really cool and weird. But they're not doing it anymore for some reason. I got to keep growing it. Maybe it'll kind of streak out like that again. But the red ones are, they're incredibly hot. I mean, I've sold quite a few orders of that, so I don't really get any feedback from it. I'm really curious to see what people say about it by the end of the year, I guess, or something like that. Once they start growing it, I'd be really curious to see what other people say. But it's, for my personal experience, it's very, 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 very hot. It's not something I want to do another taste test on. I'll put it to you that way.
I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if I link together. I might have to.
It's his website too.
Yeah,
I found this one as well, the one you're showing, and it links back to the channel, so he has both of the sites.
Yeah, if you look at the link on it, it'll probably say Squarespace on it, because that was an old Squarespace was like a credit card service. That was my merchant account, and so they let me put like some of my products on there, and that's what that is. It's just my main merchant account. They gave me like a free website, so I threw a couple of things in there. But that my main website would be hrseeds.com, not by Squarespace. Yeah, I'll drop a link, I guess. If you just go.
Here, I dropped it in the chat there for you, Joe.
Did you?
Let me try it again, because once I click on it from this site, it does take me exactly there.
Does it really?
Yeah.
You click on it from his YouTube channel?
From that site originally with the peppers. So that site, that picture, I click on peppers, and it takes me to exactly where you're talking about. But right now, I want to do something. Hold on, because I think this is important.
So yeah, as far as the Hellfire chili goes, I mean, it's kind of still in the works, but I do have a brown one, and now I have a red one. So, and they're both just as hot. It's just they're not combined as one anymore. There you go. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So when I clicked on it, this is exactly where it went to. So.
Oh, okay.
So we're.
Yeah. Now you see, there's an ad at the top of it. That's not me, dude. That has nothing to do with me. I don't know what that is. That's my hostess put that in there.
Okay.
There's that bar on the top. So that's a problem.
Here.
I'm trying to get them to get rid of that. And the reason why is if you hover on the menu bar, like go and hover on the menu bar, you'll see that it goes up because that ad's there, and it really messes up people up because they don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. It's annoying.
Okay, let me put the Hellfire in and show everybody what that is. Now, you know what stinks about when you grow hot peppers? Everybody wants to steal your hot pepper. And
yeah, I don't really care if they do. When you say steal, I don't know what you mean.
They want to say they're the creator, they're the one that developed it.
Yeah, well, they can't really do that with me because what I crossed this with was very unique and you'll never be able to reproduce it. What they do is they take the name and they just slap that name onto other peppers and say that that's the same thing, and it's just a counterfeit. Now, there was a website or two that was doing that, and I kind of made a stink about it because you're leading people on to think that it's maybe this pepper, and a lot of people have been waiting for it, but it's not. And she's taking your money for it, and it's like, dude, you're ripping people off, dude. I don't care if you sell my pepper. I don't care anything about that. I just don't want you to slap the name onto something else that's not what this is. And so that part is the part that, I'm not, I don't care if people grow it. I don't care if they sell it. I don't care whatever they want to do it. They want to use it to cross. It's cool. I'm good with that. It's just, I don't want them to take the name Hellfire and then slap it onto something else. And then say to everybody, hey, this is Hellfire. And they were doing that before I released the pepper. There were a couple of people who did that. And they put it out there, and it's like, dude, you're just deceiving everybody. You're getting the jump on me before I could even release the pepper. And that's one of the reasons why I released it early. I didn't want to release it that early, but the name was already getting taken and then applied to other peppers out there. And I know that's not, it's going to create a lot of confusion with people. So yeah, that was a little bit of a problem, but it's out. The date is out on it. I put the release date on it. So, but those are the red ones. Now, if you type in that search bar again, that's what it was. See that one there with the red streak on it? That's what it looked like originally, with that red streak in there. And so a bunch of them had like 1, 2, 3 of those streaks on it. Then the following year, I grew it, and it came out just either red or just the red, that dark red color, which was really weird looking. Now, if you go back in there and type Hellfire, you'll see that there's a chocolate version. You could see what they look like.
There it is.
Those are the dried ones. Do it again. Go back there and type Hellfire. I'm selling dried halves to that. And then you'll see the pepper all the way down there. There you go. There it is. Now you see what it did? It kind of separated. So now one's red, and then these are dark colors. It's really weird. And they're both ungodly hot. They're just ungodly hot.
Well, you wanted it to be, you were trying to grow that world's hottest pepper?
No, actually, I was just fooling around, and I was mixing the genetics of some other pepper varieties that I thought would really work. And one of them was a pepper that I received from Pepper Lovers, and I don't know anything about it. It was supposed to be a sweet scorpion, and it wasn't. It was one of the hottest peppers I think I've ever eaten in my life. I mean, I literally almost choked to death when I tried to bite into it and chew it. I couldn't get it down. And by the time I tried to get it down, I started heat cupping, and I almost choked from it. So I remember that, and I kept the seeds from that. And then I crossed that over with a couple of other peppers, which at the moment I'm not going to say what they are. And I crossed them, and then eventually I came out with with the first run of that, which was the one with the blood streak in it. And now it's starting to kind of separate out a little bit. But I'm going to be honest with you, it is incredibly hot. You better be ready for it when you eat it. Believe me when I tell you.
Well, when you started doing those reviews on hot peppers, I really felt bad for you. I mean, oh my God. Especially in the beginning. In the beginning, you just ate them.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is going to hurt. And you did it. You freaking did it.
I can't do it like that anymore. My stomach has gotten really sensitive to it. If I eat food and I put it on food, I'm good. I can eat these all day. But to do it raw like that, oh my God, no. That's why you see a lot of these guys on here that used to do all those super hot peppers. They don't really do them anymore. They do them once in a while. The only guy who does it regular is that guy, Johnny Scoville. He's one of the few people that I see can do that, and it doesn't bother him. But most of the other guys, the Chili Beast guy and Ted Tabaris and all of those other guys, you don't really see them do that anymore. Because it just rips your stomach apart, you know?
The more it's not as fun. It's not just your mouth anymore.
Oh no,
you get older.
Stomach. Oh, it's your stomach.
Your throat, your stomach, other parts. Like it's.
Oh yeah, when you go to the bathroom, you're really, you're like, wow, this is not good. You're like,
no, and there's no putting yogurt on that.
No, there's nothing you can do except run around a little bit.
Oh,
no,
you got
painful.
the thong tomato. So this one, I sold this seed last year in part of my packages. So I gave
did you really?
I had the girls weird thing tomato, the thong.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That's from another country. I don't know why they named it thong.
I grew the girls weird girls tomato. Girls weird thing tomato. About 3 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was very smoky.
Yeah.
It was
it's a very tomato. I think it's okay.
It wasn't like. It was weird looking though.
Yeah.
Like it had like a lot of like it just really prone to cat facing and stuff. Like it just the tomatoes themselves all not really cat facing, but they all were just kind of weird looking, like kind of deformed,
streaking on it and stuff.
Yeah, just they looked. So I don't know. I just wasn't. I didn't grow them again. I was like, I only have a very limited space, and so every year I try new varieties, unless it's one that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to grow that again.
Yeah, a lot of people like it though. They actually request it. So yeah, unfortunately, I have to grow that. If it sells out, then But yeah, that's a weird one, the thong to me. I don't know why you would name it thong. It's just maybe it's somebody's name or something. It's not what we're thinking. It's something completely different.
Mhm.
The song was playing when they. Maybe that's the
Song,
song.
song,
Maybe that's the song
song.
they played when they were cross pollinating. Get him in the mood.
That's
you
a
still-
weird
I don't
one
know.
right there. The original pair. That
Yeah.
one's really weird, dude. That's a nice one. It's a nice creiform tomato, but it's a green variety, and it sometimes gets like speckles on it, like dark green speckles on it. It's a really strange variety. Sometimes they're preiform like that. Sometimes they're not quite as pronounced like that.
Oh, and they're
But
pretty
it's really
hollow inside.
strange. I've never seen a preiform green tomato like that. It's really strange.
I grew a really strange looking tomato a few years ago.
Okay.
It's to the seed. It was supposed to be a pink brandy wine. I think it was.
Okay.
It was not.
What was it?
No idea. I'll have to send you a picture.
Okay.
People had all kinds of inappropriate names for it, but yeah, it was very odd tomato. It was very I would guess it was maybe tomato. The flavor wasn't.
No.
I didn't even bother saving the seeds. I probably should have, but
Yeah,
I was like,
you always
eh.
say seeds.
Yeah,
John, what did you think of the
wasn't great.
Indigo series?
They're really good. Now you know about the indigos, right? You know how that whole thing started with that. So it's a college thing, and they were breeding them out, and there is a small series on the whole indigo varieties. Now I do like these tomatoes, and they're still not totally stable yet, so they're kind of still spitting out different phenos here and there. You're going to get them. In fact, one of the phenos I just recently got out of those tomatoes, it's nothing I made, but one of the phenos that came out is a cream version of it, which is as far as I know, I'm the only one who's got it. So we're going to grow that out again this year and see if it comes true. And we'll offer a indigo cream version of it with black shoulders, just like that, but it's cream. It's a freak. It's just a genetic way it comes out. It's kind of weird.
And how about, you know what, this tomato over here, the pink Berkeley tie-dye, it's all over the place, of course. What do you think about that tomato?
The pink Berkeley tie-dye. Wait a minute. That one is here. Click on it. I want to see the name because I don't. That one's the pink Berkeley tie-dye tomato. All right, that is the pink one. Okay. The taste of the tomato, if I remember, was good. Production-wise, I struggled with it, but that might be my own fault because it was new soil and I didn't really till it in good. With tomatoes, you gotta really work the soil a certain way. You gotta till it deep. You gotta get that deep underground earth mixed up with your organic matter and kind of incorporate it really good. If you do that, you'll get some really good, healthy tomatoes. I didn't do that good with it as far as getting too many of them off it. But again, I'm going to grow it again this year, and we'll see if maybe it was just because of my fault, because I didn't till it into the soil. But I think it's a pretty good tomato. It's not bad. I didn't do a review on it, but I will. I will do a review on it this year.
I really liked it. I grew it a couple years ago, and it was just a really good. To me, my goal for a tomato is I want it to just be like the perfect sandwich tomato. Like, I'm not into making sauces. I make salsa, and I like to eat them fresh, just like salt or on a tomato sandwich. That's my goal for the perfect tomato. And I really, really liked the pink Berkeley tie-dye. It was really well balanced. It was juicy. It was absolutely delicious.
You're a fan of the Tom Wagner tomatoes because he's the one. I believe he's the one who creates all of those top Berkeley tie-dyes, and that's like one of his things. He makes a lot of great.
Is he the wild boar?
Live boar, yeah.
Wild boar guy?
No, he's not. No. He's not the wild boar guy. No,
because I thought that was wild boar, but I could be wrong.
That's him.
I could be wrong.
That's him, right?
That's Brad Gates.
That's Brad Gates. So Tom Wagner's the other guy,
right? Mm-hmm.
Oh no, maybe it is Brad Gates. I get these two. I always get those two guys mixed up.
I have to say, I was not impressed with the Brad's Atomic Grape.
Really?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but to eat it, I don't know. I just wasn't.
Yeah, you didn't care for it. I believe he's the creator, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
creator of the black cherry tomato? Did you ever have that one?
I don't know. I've had the black cherry. Our favorite cherry tomato is the chocolate cherry.
Okay,
Okay.
that might be a spin-off of
Um,
the original black cherry, and I believe it was either Brad Gates or Tom Wagner. I'm really bad with remembering who's who, but those guys, one of those guys, were the original creators of the black cherry. And if you ever get a chance to grow that one, definitely give that one a go.
I'll try that. Yeah.
It's a real sweet one, very smooth. It's got a lot of flavor in it. It kind of bursts in your mouth, and it's not dry and chalky or anything like that. It's going to really deliver a really good, nice, sweet flavor. Now, some people ain't big fans of real sweet cherry tomatoes, but I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Now-
a lot of people like they like that tomato flavor, but not the the sweetness. They don't care for that too much.
I want it sweet in a cherry tomato. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I like it, especially if I'm throwing it in a salad. I like the contrast with the vinaigrette and some blue cheese, and then that nice
I love
punch of
that.
sweet.
Yeah, just cut them
Yeah.
right in half. You're good. Oh yeah, they're great.
The Rapunzel tomato. Now, this is a smaller plant, but I've been hearing a lot of great reviews about the Rapunzel tomato.
Now,
I have never grown it before.
Well, the problem with Rapunzel, okay, so Rapunzel, the main thing that they're known for is that they're known for making these long firecracker strips. You know what a long pack of firecrackers look like? Well, that's what it does with the tomatoes. It makes this long strip of probably about 30 or 40. And you're supposed to get racks of like 30 or 40 tomatoes that just literally hang down to the ground, like a long pack of firecrackers. The problem with that is these are all generally F1s when you buy them. So the original breeder will make his original cross. He takes this tomato and that tomato, he puts them together, and he gets the Rapunzel on an F1. Those are the ones that are going to give you those long bracts. It seems like all the subsequent regrowing of that variety doesn't seem to produce quite as long of bracts as the original on the Rapunzel. So it's unless you're going to crossbreed and sell it F1 every year, you're not going to quite get that effect out of it. And that's kind of the same problem with the 1 million tomato too.
Sweet million. Yeah.
So like kind of like the Brad's Crazy Cherry. Is that like that yellow one that's supposed to has like just a gazillion tomatoes on each?
That's what you call a multiflora. That's a completely different thing.
Oh, okay.
What this one's more like, if you know what a long pack of firecrackers look like. You ever see?
Yeah, so that's just like a one strand as opposed to the multi-branching.
You get like 50 or 60 tomatoes on one brand. It literally goes all the way to the ground and grows like along the ground. I mean, these things get like 3 feet long. The one that you're talking about, Brad's Crazy Cherry, now that's different. That's like
it's really branching. Yeah,
grapes, right? They come out and it's like
okay.
Yeah, that's called a multiflora. That's a little bit different, but yeah, that one's really cool. That one's easy to grow. It's pretty consistent. That one comes true every year. But the 1 million and this Rapunzel, they come true. They taste good, but you're not getting that really long 3-foot effect on it, unfortunately. But it is the tomato, it's as far as you're going to get. Unless you're going to buy that from the original breeder, you're not going to get that effect on that one.
I'm going to type in a tomato, and any kind of tomatoes that you think are like, hey, you know what, this tomato is awesome. I highly recommend you to buy them. You have them on your site.
Well, put in the black cherry tomato because I want her to see this one. If she's ever going to buy a tomato, definitely try this one. This one's like a best for people when they want to try tomatoes. This one's here. It's a very simple tomato. It looks like simple, but man, the flavor on that thing is absolutely unbelievable. And so a lot of people will take that tomato and use it to cross to make other cherry tomatoes, believe it or not, because of the flavor of it is so good. It's one of my favorite tasting tomatoes, but yeah, it's very plain. It looks like it's like a regular tomato. But believe me when I tell you, it makes up for it in flavor.
All right, it's going on the list. Just what I needed. More tomatoes on the list.
I would highly recommend it 100%. Now, the other one is the, I think it's called the Violet Sprinkles. Put that one in there. Let me see here. Violets. No, it's not that one. You got to separate the word. You put it in one word. Violet Sparkle, maybe?
Yeah, it's sparkle.
Oh. No, can't be right. I can't remember the damn name of it. It's another type of cherry tomato, but man, that's a really, really good snacking tomato. It's kind of oblong shaped, got a little nipple on the end of it, and
Violet
it's bright
Jasper?
color. What's that?
Violet Jasper tomato?
No, not that one. Not my. That's the old one. That's a very old variety. That's been around for decades. This one's called Violet Sparkle or Violet Sprinkles. Try Violet Sprinkles.
Nothing's coming up after violet.
Okay. I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately. Oh, no, I know what it is. It's called Chocolate Sprinkles, maybe.
That's it. Yep.
I see that one.
That's it, right? The first one. That's a really good tomato right there. That's also a very, very good one. They're not quite as big as the cherry tomatoes, but it's got a lot of appeal to it. So it's going to give you a real good effect for your guests. They're gonna it's a good. It's got a nice presentation. Part of enjoying that tomato is the look of it, as well as once you eat it, you get a nice good flavor from it. That's a very good one. Well, it's very popular. A lot of people buy that one.
Oh, look at that. That was created by
looks really
Bonnie Plants. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I love your. I absolutely love your descriptions on these tomatoes.
Oh,
People really do that kind of research.
I do try to give you an honest where it's from and everything. I mean, I don't always get them right, but I try to give you as best I could. And then hopefully when people choose a tomato, they're kind of choosing it based off of what they see as well as what I write in there. The information on it.
Give me another variety when you guys talk, so I can look it up.
Now, this is all right. Here's an interesting tomato. If you want to look something up, you can type this word in: Dochua, D-O-U. Type that in as D-O-U. Dochua tomato. It's a hollow pepper tomato right there. I think that's it, right in the middle. Yeah, that one right there. Now this is a very interesting tomato because you can core that out just like you do with a pepper, and then you can kind of stuff it with your own stuffing and then cook it on the grill just like a stuffed pepper. It's a very interesting version of a tomato, and I do like it for that reason. Now, it's not the most flavorful thing, but it makes a good body to stuff like your rice and meat mixture. However you make your stuff.
Joe's always looking for a good body.
Yes, yeah. I know I don't have a good body, but I appreciate good bodies.
Well, it'll definitely work for you, that's for sure. And they can get pretty big. They almost get to the size of a pepper, so. They do work good for like stuffing. Now that's something different if you don't want to, if you want to try something different other than stuffing peppers, that's a good alternative to it. And it does give you an interesting flavor. The only thing is, before you stuff these tomatoes, you want to pre-cook whatever you're going to put into it to a good degree, then stuff it and then just heat it up on the grill. Just give it like a little flash, in the grill, and then pull it out because you don't want it will melt,
I like that. I like this stuff because I love stuffing.
It's great. I'm telling you, I should do a video on it one day. I should grow them this year and then do a video on stuffing those. They're really good. I really like them for that purpose. But again, they're not real flavorful though.
But if you have that tomato taste to it, you just add the cheese, you add a little meat, you add a little of this and a little of that, you're good.
Yeah, in general, a little salt the salt will go a long way with tomatoes.
You could dice up a little pepperoni, a little bit of mozzarella, piece of basil.
And you're good, right? Now, there are the dwarf varieties of tomatoes. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in those. Dwarfs.
That's why I'm here for the dwarfs. I am all about the dwarfs and the micro dwarfs this year.
Okay, so
I live in a townhouse.
Okay. Oh, then this is perfect for you. Then this is the way to go. Now,
yeah,
I've done videos on the 5-gallon pails that I make. If you follow that 5-gallon pail design and you build that and you put these dwarfs in there, you're set. You're gonna. I had so many tomatoes coming off of my pails that they were literally pulling my they're pulling up straps and everything to the ground. That's how many tomatoes I was getting off it.
That's awesome.
They grow unbelievable. The plants don't get any bigger, but you got to keep in mind with dwarf tomatoes that they have a set amount of branches they put out. They put out a set amount of tomatoes, and that's pretty much it. They might put a few scragglers here and there, but it sets its fruit all at once, and then that's it. So it's like you gotta kind of be ready for it. As far as the flavor goes, no, that rocks. They rock. They're delicious tomatoes.
I've grown the Tiny Tim. That was the first one I'd ever tried.
That one's not that good, believe it or not.
Like 2 years ago. I mean, it tastes exactly like just a basic cherry tomato.
Okay.
But that thing produced for me all summer long.
Okay.
Then it kind of stalled out for about a week and a half, and then it grew like another inch, and then boom, it put out a whole second round.
May not have been the true version of Tiny Tim. I don't know what the situation is, but anytime you grow a dwarf, dwarfs are similar to determinants. So when you got determinants and you got dwarfs, generally with those is first of all, you don't want to ever prune them because every branch is a fruit producer, and secondly, they build their body first and then they set fruit. And once
I thought it was done. And I just kind of left it in the containers and
it grew again, and you got more tomatoes.
It just added a little bit more, and it grew again.
Yeah. It's possible. I've
done
showing people.
The seeds were from a seed swap, so
yeah, you got to be careful with that because.
They were about 15 inches high, and
okay. Well, it could be. It could be. And in general, if you don't prune a dwarf, it's not going to regrow. So I do what you said, but I specifically prune the plant in a certain way, and then all those new shoots will come up.
I did prune it pretty good. I would go in and get out a lot of the leaves because it was so compact.
Yeah,
and I was like,
cut the tops off. All the tops, like here's your plant, right? So once it's done fruiting, you got to cut the whole plant like in half. Get that off, and then from the bottom, it'll shoot up a whole bunch of new shoots. That's when you're going to get your second harvest, but it's usually not as much as the first harvest.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was just shocked. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's growing again!" And it was great because my old dog at the time loved nothing more than his cherry tomatoes, and those two were his plants. And every day there was at least one tomato for him to come out and get his tomato of the day. So that was my first foray into anything micro dwarf.
Okay, so they're not really considered.
They're not micros, though. No.
Yeah, they're not They're kind of in between, though. So micro dwarfs, and then you got dwarfs, and there's this weird type of dwarf that doesn't get bigger or small, kind of like right in the middle. Tiny Tim is one of those. But if you look in here, can you scroll back down a little bit, back to the top a little? Scroll back up. Or back down. Right. Keep going a little more. A little more. Right there.
Yeah.
You see right there, there's a blue pail and there's that plant in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Okay. This is called a super determinant. And these type of varieties are very different from dwarf varieties. And these types come from Russia. And so they created this thing called super determinants. And what these things do is really weird. They're what are known as compacts. They're not quite dwarfs and they're not quite micro dwarfs, but they're what they call compacts. So they stay small like a bush, and then they put out this unbelievable massive cluster of tomatoes out of the center of it. And you can just keep picking tomatoes off of that like literally all season. As you can see, this plant, it kind of looks like a basket tomato. I guess another name for it would be basket. So they kind of want to hang down, but if you grow them in these pails, they just form this large clump, and tomatoes start coming out of every branch. Is like unbelievable. But that's a little different than dwarf. If you ever see those, that's something you might want to be interested in too. They're also
because I do most of my tomatoes are in containers. So I usually I have like some 5-gallon grow bags.
Okay.
Some buckets, and then I have some big containers that I do most of. I don't do a lot in the ground because I have a hill and I have an old fence on the one side.
You're in an apartment complex, right?
I'm in a townhouse, but I do have a backyard. But it goes out. It's fairly long. It's like 70 feet long, but it kind of slopes down a bit, and then it's clay with hard pack.
Well, doesn't your HOA stop you from doing that? Your home?
I don't have an HOA.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah. So I can do whatever I want. My neighbors don't care. I actually plant a lot of stuff in their yard because they don't do anything with it.
But that's a variety you could look into. Those compact varieties, they're really good. I really like those. It's something new, and it's very exciting to grow those. And if you're looking for something in the dwarf varieties, a lot of these things you see here are from the Dwarf Tomato Project. And all those, if you look into what that is, that guy started that whole project, that breeding program for like 10 years. He got these people from all over the world to help stabilize these varieties. Some of these varieties are absolutely unbelievable. I recommend any one of those. Most of what he's showing here.
I am growing. So last year I did Golden Balcony. I did the Tiny Tim again. I did Leprechaun.
I'm not familiar with that one.
My favorite one from last year was the Tasmanian Dwarf chocolate tomato.
I think I'm growing that one this year, actually.
So the plant got to be about 3 feet tall, but it had like pretty decent sized tomatoes on it.
I think that's a dwarf.
They were
tomato
beautiful, kind
variety.
of chocolate looking. I was expecting it to be smoky, but it wasn't. But it was absolutely delicious. And I had started that last January indoors, and I had like a couple slicers ready for. I think I had them in May. Or
John,
I'm just outside of Toronto, so I'm in a 5B. So that's like a huge for me. So this is what I love about the idea of the dwarf and the cherry dwarf, the dwarfs, because it's like I still haven't been able to plant out. I might be able to plant out next weekend. We're still having lows in like 41, 43 overnight.
Oh,
so
you're
I'm not risking it.
That's something we should talk about too. These
I'm not risking
right
it.
Now,
yeah.
They're too cold, and if you get your plants are too young, they're going to stunt, and you're going to lose about a month and a half.
Exactly. So they're still in the greenhouse. It's heated.
Yeah,
I'm baking them,
like
but it takes so long for me to be able to get plants in the ground. So I don't start like my large tomatoes, my indeterminate, until like beginning of April, because otherwise they're way too big.
You said you're up by Toronto.
Yeah. And so this whole idea with the micro dwarfs or the dwarf tomatoes and the micros is I can start them in January, February.
Yeah.
I have room because like I said, I'm in a townhouse. I have one, shelving unit that I grow everything on, and I could start them in January. And I've had cherry tomatoes, already. I had some orange hats that have already produced tomatoes on it.
Yeah.
And I have some out in the greenhouse that are just full, and they're going to start ripening. So that is another reason why I love the idea of the dwarfs, is because and get them to more of a maturity in the house, because I have room, because they're so tiny. Yeah.
Well, your other option too, when you grow them in them containers, like I show you with those self-watering containers, they're modular, so you can pretty much just pick that up, and if it gets too cold, you can put it in the garage overnight, and you can kind of stretch your season out. You don't really have to, overstress yourself or your greenhouse with space. So what I do is like once it starts getting into like the September area, like with those containers he just showed you in there, that picture. Go back on that a little bit. Keep going right there with the containers. One more right there. No, go one more. Keep going. There it is. You see how those containers are? I bring that whole thing. It's not really heavy. It's pretty light. I just carry those in my garage overnight, and I let them, and then I bring them back out into the driveway during the sun, and I can really extend my season out and get a lot of extra tomatoes out of it. So
you haven't seen my garage.
What's your garage is loaded?
It's like got a walking path. All the tools and work stuff is all in there.
Believe me, I know. I'm like that too.
But we are talking about maybe setting the greenhouse back up in the fall.
Okay.
I think we're planning on like having it heated too much, unless you like kind of want to go out there and just turn the heater on and hang out in there over winter or whatever. But it would at least extend, in the fall a little bit on some of the plants, because honestly, the last 2 years we have not had a frost until November 7th.
Wow.
Normally
we're getting frosts in mid October's over here.
Well, October 15th is my usual first frost date, and for some reason, so it's like our seasons have shifted.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Our springs are getting much later to start, but our falls are staying warmer a lot longer. So,
well, you know why that is, right? You know what happened? So basically, we used to have a jet stream, right? So you remember we used to have a jet stream that would come down right by, roughly where the Great Lakes are, and then usually by Oregon area it would kick up and around there. Well, something's going on lately, and the jet stream split. So now you got a jet stream that's like midway of Canada, and now you got the jet stream that was used to be down by the equator. It moved up into like where Florida is. So now we got two jet streams, and we're right in the middle of it. And so what we're getting is the cold air being blown down from the north, and the warm air is coming. It's kind of contrasting right in the middle. So it's never done that before. So unfortunately, you're just going to have to bear it out until we.
Yeah, and the last two summers we've been unseasonably cool.
Yeah, and that's because the jet stream split.
Yeah,
we have two jet streams now. So it should never have done that, but I guess with all the geoengineering that they're doing,
I tell you, it was stunting to plant in the cold, though. I mean, with John being in Pennsylvania, with the jet streams going down, with the, the currents and stuff like that. Here, it's like you can have 70-degree weather for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, we got 3 or 4 days where you get frost warnings.
And so the problem with that is a lot of people think it's the surface temperatures that cause the problems with your gardening. Realistically, what really causes the problem with your garden when it does that is the soil. So all your plant starts are in your trays and they're outside. And if that temperature drops down for more than a day or two, from like say 38 to 45, and it stays that way, and your soil gets cold, all your plants are going to stunt. And they don't come back out of it. It takes them like about a month. If they don't die, it'll take them about a month and a half to come out of it. And then you're better off just starting from seed all over again. And that's all because of the soil temperatures. It's not just the air temperatures. So when that happens, that really messes you up. And a lot of things like cucumbers, forget it. Watermelons, forget it. They're shot. You're shot. You just wasted all your money and all your plants. I mean, I probably ended up throwing away somewhere around 6 trays worth of combination of, say, tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers and melons and stuff, because of what happened with this weather. And I'm the kind of person, see, when I start my stuff, I have like a big table, right? And I put all my trays on it, and I wheel it out of my garage into my driveway into direct sunlight. And I do that so I don't have to harden nothing off. If you sprout all your plants directly in direct sun, they're not going to burn, no hardening off, and everything grows relatively pretty quickly, and you can get things moving really fast. Not this year. And in fact, I'm not even going to do it again next year. Next year, I have no choice but to do it in a greenhouse. And I hate doing that, because if you move them to outdoors, you've got to go through the whole hardening off thing.
Yeah, hardening off's no fun. I'm in the process of that right now. But like Friday, I think our high Friday was like 52.
That's still too cold, believe me.
And I know, and I've been putting them out. We were at 6:30 in the morning, and it was 32 degrees out. I was like, nope, you guys are staying in the greenhouse all day. So yesterday was a high of 56, and today it was a high of 75. So everything got to come out, be out in the sun. I put it all back in tonight. We're only going down to 50 overnight tonight, which is nice, but we're seeing 41, 43. I wait until it says 50 overnight.
Yeah, 55 in general and above is where you're good. But anything below that, like 38 to say 45, roughly even 50, you're talking about stunting the plants. And it only takes like 2 days of that cold weather constantly, and you're screwed. That's it.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it was 38 last night. My pepper plants survived," and I was like,
"Yeah, they're not going to grow.
They might be alive, but
exactly.
Yeah, nope."
I
don't understand people. They go through all of this time and effort and money to start, and then they just, you get to the end and you're almost at that finish line, and you can't wait.
Yeah, I know.
Can't wait. It's like, oh, it's a nice day. It's a nice weekend. And they go and they plan everything out. And then, a frost comes, or these cold temperatures come, and they get so mad. And it's like, what shit? Why? Like, you put so much time and effort and money in.
Yeah.
Like just spend like 5 minutes reading.
Yeah.
When should I put my pepper plants out? Like, people just are too lazy.
You got to wait. And like where I am.
Yeah. It's just so frustrating.
We can't get planted here in Pennsylvania probably till about mid-June outdoors. I wouldn't go any. It's like next week's already going back down into the mid-30s again for me. So I mean, it's going to come back all over again for like 3 or 4 days. But that 3 or 4 days is enough to just ruin your season. Believe
It's
it or
not
not.
worth it. Yeah.
You know, I almost don't want to start my plants until May. That's how bad it is up here. It's like, what's the point of starting early? You know.
So,
But,
John, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's 8 o'clock, so we're going to start answering questions.
okay. All right.
So if you have any questions, make sure they're all caps. And time's flying by. I can't believe that was a fast hour.
Yeah.
It's already. Oh wow. Okay.
So we got about 20 minutes, and whatever kind of questions we go with, just go with the flow.
Okay.
So and I'll have them up there. I'll put them up there so you can read them.
Okay. All right. So you're asking, what is your favorite tomato to grow? Now I get asked that all the time, and it's like, oh my god, I don't know how to answer that because I eat so many different varieties of tomatoes. Okay, so it's very complicated answer to that. I can say, what category of favorite tomato? Cherry tomatoes or like beefsteak tomatoes? You like sauce tomatoes, or you're talking about fresh eating tomatoes? So it's hard for me to give you like a general consensus to it. In general, a good quality tomato. Oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. Kellogg's breakfast tomato is definitely a really good grower. I would definitely recommend that. What else? That's like a classic. You can't go wrong with the flavor in that. It's a very nice light flavor. Has a nice amount of sweetness, but nice tardiness to it. So that's a classic. I don't grow it that much, but I really do like that tomato.
Is that the yellow one?
The what?
Is it yellow?
Yeah, it's like an orange.
Yellow one, right? Okay. Yeah.
That's a good tomato. That's a really, really good tomato. It works good in sauces and it works good in salads. So you really can't. If I recommend that to somebody, you ain't gonna go wrong with it. Another good tomato. I can't remember the names now. Burroughs Special, I think it's called.
Yeah,
that's a good one. There's also what's that one called? Buttermilk Falls. That's a really, really, really good tomato. Buttermilk Falls. That's like, I can't believe how delicious that tomato is. But it's not a beefsteak. It's kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, maybe a slicer. It's a little bit bigger than a cherry. It's not quite a Campari. It's like that big. It's not a beefsteak or anything. That's a really good tomato. That's a Buttermilk Falls is a very, very delicious tomato. And Burroughs Special, I think, is the other one. Those are my best recommendations as far as tomatoes go.
What is your sweetest cherry tomato that you like to grow?
The sweetest, let's see. Now there are tomatoes that are very sweet, but they're so high in the sweetness, they're actually awkward in flavor. So I wouldn't recommend those. They're so sweet, it's like a candy flavor, but yet a tomato background. It's very weird. It's not correct. The best, sweetest cherry tomato is the black cherry tomato. I think you can't go wrong with that tomato ever. It's easy to grow. It's highly productive, and the tomatoes are just, you can eat those things all day long.
Now, when you're talking about Swedish, you're talking about your bricks levels?
Well, what was that question? What was that?
Like when you measure, say, your sweetest, are you talking about the bricks levels on the tomato?
Well, the bricks measures both the mineral content and sweetness, but a lot of people use it to measure sweetness. So, yeah, if you're talking about bricks, yeah, the black cherry is going to be up there around a 10 on the bricks. That's a very high one.
And what is the sun gold?
Probably sun golds are probably up there too. They're around 8 or 9, somewhere in there. But I also have tomatoes that are even higher than that in sweetness. And again, they don't taste right. They're really weird tasting.
Too much.
Right. Yeah, they're too much.
What's your favorite beefsteak?
Like I said, I'm trying to think. You got to remember too, these favorites change for me from year to year as I grow new varieties. I'm always like, oh, this one's great and that one's good. Like I said, the Kellogg's breakfast is really a classic. You can't go wrong with. Black Krim is also another really good one. If you want to get into, like, I don't really consider Purple Cherokee to be a beefsteak, but a lot of people do. Purple Cherokee is one you really can't go wrong with. Any of those black tomatoes, a lot of sweetness, a lot of rich flavor. They always deliver. They're good fresh and they're good cooked.
Now, how about your saladette? So you know how you go get a salad at anywhere, and it's like bland tomato. You never have
Yeah,
a good
that's-
tomato anywhere.
Believe it or not, one of my number one sellers it's not really, a lot of people will call it a saladette, but my Campari tomato is like a number one seller. A lot of people absolutely love the Campari tomato. Now, Campari is like a saladette, but saladettes are a little bit larger, I think. So if you're going into that range, and depending on whether you like it cooked or raw, Buttermilk Falls, that's one that's in that range of tomatoes, that saladette size. You really can't go wrong with those. Buttermilk Falls is definitely a winner every year. You can't go wrong.
How about
Have
the
you heard of a tomato called Mountain Spring? I've had Mountain Gold.
It's all in the mountain series, so they have a whole bunch of mountain series tomatoes.
Oh, is it really? There's a whole mountain series of things. Well, I heard of Mountain Gold. Mountain Springs. I've heard of Oregon Springs, but never Mountain Springs. Oregon Springs, Mountain Gold. Not familiar with that one. I have to look into that. How many generations of back breeding on the Hellfire do you think it would take to bring up the recessive trait of the stripes? Oh, that's a very interesting question. I'm not sure who that is asking that.
This is the Happy Gardener. He's awesome. He's great. They're great. He's really good.
He's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
All right. So what he's talking about, and so what you do, this is what a lot of people do when you breed, when you're breeding out your what you need to do when you first create your cross, you need to grow roughly about 10 of that plant for about 2 to 3 years in a row, roughly 2 or 3 seasons in a row. Then what you do is you bring that cross back to the original cross to fortify the genetics of it. When you do that, oftentimes the original genetics that you might have, like for example, in that original version of it, that might show itself again by doing that. So how many times would I back cross that? That's an interesting question. I really haven't did any I really haven't did any primary back crosses to it yet at all, to be honest, because it split. It went from the red to the brown. So I still have the original seed. So I could probably take the original seed from the blood streak and back cross that back into the red version and see if it does it again. That is an idea. I could do that, but I have to grow them both out at the same time and then mix the flowers. That's a possibility. So it's on the hill, and I'm almost out of seed for the blood streak. So the few peppers I did get that had the blood streak in it, I separated them, and I've been growing them out. But I've had a couple bad years. Lost some plants again this year because of this wonderful weather we're having, and so that kind of set me back a little bit. But I still have seed left. And if I do, I'm going to grow the regular red version of it, and I'm going to grow the original blood streak, and I will do a back cross. I'm glad he brought that up, because that's really one other way that I hopefully could get that back. I don't know if I'm going to get it back, but it did separate, so it is what it is.
Now, what's the top tomato you never grew before, and you were growing it this year? What would you say? What's your
there's so many tomatoes I haven't grown. I pretty much grew everything out there. What is my top tomato? Oh God. Oh my God. My tomato list is failing me. Well, believe it or not, the brandy wines are pretty much classic. I'm trying to think which brandy wine didn't I grow. I grew the yellow one. I grew the pink. I think there's Brandywine green and then Brandywine red. Those two I don't think I grew. That would be a tomato that I would say that I never grew. That would be a good choice. Any of the Brandywines, you can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, I got some whiskey bottles in my garden. See if they come back from last year. I'm looking forward to see if they come back. Wait till the video comes out.
I was the only one. So yeah, it's as far as they go, that's the one I would roll with. Brandywine's also a really good choice too, as far as like flavor, texture for sauce or fresh eating. Any of the Brandywines are generally good. I think I'm growing Brandywine green this year, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that goes. Oftentimes the green ones tend to be a little tangy, so. But any of the other ones, the striped ones, the pink ones, the red ones, they're all pretty much going to be good eaters.
I
Yeah.
grew the pink, but it was so late in the season, and it was 2 years ago, and I had to pick them green, and it was so
They're
sad.
right before you're right. I mean, you got them the right.
They really didn't.
They didn't know.
They were too early, I think. They didn't really. They weren't that exciting, and I was like, for all the hoopla around the Brandywines, I don't feel like I gave them a fair share.
Yeah, brandy. Just so you know, Brandywine's a late season variety. So
Yeah,
what that means is they don't like to produce in the beginning. They like to wait all the way to
it
the end
took
of the year.
forever. I was
Yeah,
very mad.
they're a late season variety. So if you're up north, you're going to struggle with it.
Yeah,
Somebody like you, you're probably going to be better off where you are up that far north, or even where I
yeah,
am, is the dwarf varieties. Any of those varieties are going to give you tomatoes
yeah,
early in the season, and by the
yeah.
end of the season, you're going to have more tomatoes than you know what to do with.
I
That's
really like the pineapple, so I'm growing that again. But again, that was kind of I didn't get very many,
that's
but what
because
I did, they were really good. Yeah,
that's because of where you are. It's really the late season ones are very very hard. They're really hard
yeah.
to grow. So what's this? Mayo or Miracle Whip?
Yeah, you know what's funny when they said that too? I'll get that off. So I went to Michigan to visit my cousins when I was 9 years old. So I always use Hellman's mayo, my tomato sandwich. Absolutely had 2 tomato sandwiches a day. Went up there. They said, "Hey, we got a tomato sandwich for you for lunch." I'm like, "Yes!" I sat down. I'm hungry. We just came from Jersey all the way to Michigan. They put Miracle Whip on their tomato. I tasted it. I was like, "Ew! What is
That's
this?
not Hellman's, man.
This is not a tomato sandwich. What is this?"
I'm the same way. I won't eat anything but Hellman's. I don't know about Miracle Whip, man.
I'll do either. I don't care.
Really? Yeah. It's got like a sweet flavor or something to it. I don't like
It's
it.
sweet and tangy.
Is that what it is?
It's sweet, but then it's got like this, like kind of like a vinegar kick at the end. But
Yeah, something strange and weird.
I like both of them for different things. So
Okay.
pastrami sandwich, I go Miracle Whip. Tuna, I go mayo. I prefer the mayo with but I buy like whatever. So if I've got the Miracle Whip in the fridge and it's open, I am not opening another giant mayo just to have both of them in the fridge.
That's why I always buy the little ones. You know what I mean? So
I'm cheap. I have to buy the bulk.
You buy the big one. I do, and I end up leaving it in there, and it's like I opened it up. I'm like, is this thing gonna really?
How long?
I'm like,
Dukes. I was waiting for someone to bring up Dukes. I've heard people talk about Dukes. I've never even seen Dukes, so I think that's a Southern thing.
Never heard of it.
Best Foods is what I grew up on in the West Coast.
Now,
I grew up in Oregon.
There's something I want to bring up for you pepper people out there. Now, for any of you pepper people out there, we're basically going to be seeing a lot of changes in the pepper world, which is good. So a lot of these very rare wild varieties that you were never able to get, at least since I've been doing the whole pepper thing for the last 20 years, I've never seen it available, but now they're going to be available. So there's a lot of people stepping up to the plate from Brazil, and they're starting to offer wild pepper varieties. And so I got a bunch growing now. I'm just starting them now, so I'm waiting for them to sprout. And so you're going to be seeing a lot of really good stuff in that area for any of you guys that are pepper collectors. Now, I got some stuff coming in that are going to be wild varieties. So here's a couple. Here's my little black book of pepper varieties. Now, some of you guys would be like, that's boring, But there's people out here that their eyes will peel back because they've never seen it before. But here it is. And they're going to be available, not just from me, but a lot of other pepper breeders are also going to be offering these in the very near future. You'll be seeing a lot more of this. But like here, for example.
Yeah, you can't really make that out too good.
Okay, so that one is called Parvifolium roxa Pini. Okay, so that's a Parvifolium variety. That's that
I'm
one's
growing
amazing.
Chero Roxo this year.
I did the roxa family. There's a lot of roxa peppers, but
they're beautiful. I got sucked in with the color.
I love roxa peppers. Here's Capsicum buforum. Can't really see it. We got Capsicum rabanini. Okay, that's
I like the name of that. Rabanini. Yeah.
Rabanini. It's Portuguese, I think.
It's Portuguese.
And then there's another one, another version of Rabanini, Capsaicin Rabanini. And then, of course, we have Capsicum flexuosum, but the red flower.
What? No.
Flexuosum.
Flatulence. It's flatulence. That's what happens after you
It
eat it.
gives you gas. Okay.
Flexuosum. So there's a lot of people out there that are excited. And
So are these all like hot, super hot? So are they going to be more like a pimenta?
They're
like a hot
wild
pimenta?
varieties. They're nothing like peppers like you would and I would be used to. These are like
Okay.
for collectors, people who are collecting. You were never able to buy these varieties in the United States before up until now. So this is brand new. It's going to be coming out. There's going to be a lot of people offering these varieties in the near future, including me. And now they're starting to hit the market. The only problem is my average price that I paid for those seeds my price is about $40 for 10 seeds, just to give you an idea on how expensive those are. And that's what I paid plus the shipping. So yeah, they're going to be quite expensive in the beginning, but as it gets more introduced and more people are growing it, hopefully the price can come down. If not, I mean, a lot of times you grow these wild peppers and you just don't get them the fruit. Like I've never gotten fruit off the lanceolatum, though I do have somebody from the Mediterranean who sells me the lanceolatum seed. I'll order 200-300 seed from them at a time and then I resell it. But as far as me trying to get them the fruit, no. And probably a lot of these may or may not fruit as well. So, I mean, you'll get them the flower and everything. It's just producing the fruit is not going to be as easy as you think. But at least you're able to grow them. So, yeah, they will be coming available soon. And so what I'm going to end up doing is like everybody who's on my website, not just like a contact, but if you're like a member. So I have memberships on there and I also have like guest memberships. So if you buy seed, you don't have to become a member. Just buy your seed and create a profile. You're good. But if you get the memberships, you can you'll get my emails when I make these available. If you go with the bronze membership, it's free. There's no charge for it. You can get the silver, the gold, or the platinum. And I generally don't recommend those for anybody who's just buying, a couple packs of seed. That's really for people who come to my website like 3, 4, 5 times a year, that kind of thing. That's really for them. If you just want to get the emails, just get the bronze membership. It's free and you're good. And then that way, when I do my mass mailing, when these are going to be available, you'll be able to be the first ones to, get an email. I have to do it that way because I have about 10,000 contacts and I'm only allowed to email up to 4,800 or 5,000. And then after that, I can't email nobody. You know what I mean? So I have limits on my website what I can do. So I can't email. I can't do a mass email of 10,000 people. I can't do that. What I can do is I can isolate it to just the members, and then they'll get the emails. If that makes any sense. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, and it's.
So I have to do it that way. But anybody who's a member, yeah, when these come available, and I got maybe about 8 or 10 more varieties above and beyond this that are going to be coming in within the next month, and they're very rare. Again, they've never been available before, but they are available now. Anybody who's a collector out there knows.
Do you have any idea of on a flavor profile at all, like anything about them or no?
Complex. It's not like a pepper. They're more like little berries, and
okay.
They're like little berries. They do have heat to them most of the times. They'll have heat to them. And they kind of taste like a berry. They don't taste like peppers. But it is a pepper plant. But this is really for a real niche crowd. Like people who are collectors. This wouldn't be for someone like yourself if you're just doing gardening. This would be for
not at that price.
I mean, and you should see, and that's not even the most expensive. I mean, there's a few that I can get that are like $100 to $110 for 10 seeds. So
that's insane.
$10 a seed. In some cases, and so that's that's another time.
Now you're starting to. Those are more like the.
The what?
The funny tomato seeds, which are legal in Canada.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Those things.
But they start averaging anywhere from 10 to 15.
Oh yeah. Oh,
seed, right? Yeah. Ontario, you can grow up to 4 plants per person. I mean, per household in Ontario.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, the United States.
Hence the greenhouse.
Yeah, the United States.
The greenhouse was not put up for my benefit and my tomatoes and peppers. Let's just say.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, cannabis actually falls in between like peppers and tomatoes. It's like somewhere in that family of things.
The
Believe it or
leaves do
not.
look fairly, yeah.
They grow together very well. They're very good companion plants. Believe me when I tell you.
I'll
Well,
tell
John-
him that.
Well, John, it's already 8:20.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I really
No problem.
appreciate you. I mean, like you said, we could go for 5 or 6 hours.
I'm
Rachel
starting to
can't.
see how it works on his lives. Yeah.
You see my live streams, they're long.
Absolutely love it. So I see Mountain Grandma in the background. Yogi Hollow Farm is in the chat, so she's going to be here any second. We're going to spin the wheel and we're going to start rolling on. So
Okay.
Yogi Hollow Farm just came on in chat, but thank you so much, John. Go check out HR Seeds and just look at the description, guys. The description, you won't find the description anywhere the way he does it. So a lot of hard work put in it. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, John. And I'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy. I'll see you guys later.
Take care. To answer that question, D Yummy, I don't think it is for. I think it's a different ruling, and I don't think all provinces are for plants. I think some of the like Saskatchewan and Alberta, I think they might be a little stricter on it than we are here. I don't know.
Okay, so Rachel, we're going to spin the wheel. So the first thing we're giving out, we got to do this really fast because everybody's here. So pink yarn. Yep. And then we got the book.
Those are so cute.
Then we're going to eye of the tiger, eye of the scorpion, hot sauce.
Ooh, that looks amazingly scary.
And this is not no cheap hot sauce. And then we got some seeds. Then we're going to come on with Yogi Hollow Farm and Mountain Grandma. So let's get to the wheel. We're going to do 5 spins really fast. Got to be in the chat to win. And let's do this. Let me shuffle. So here's the pink yarn. Let's see who's going to be the winner. There's the polka. There's 75 people in the chat. There's actually 100 on social media. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. So congratulations to Garden State. So you got to be in the chat to win. Just put it in all caps if you win and let us know that you are here. Okay, here's the crochet. This is really awesome because you have all the stuff here and a
I see a pug. There's Dexter.
This is really awesome.
You can make your very own Dexter, and hopefully he's better behaved.
So if anybody sees Garden State so-and-so, let me know. If not, it goes back in the next time around. So here goes the animal kitties. The crochet kitty. Oh, my wife's in the chat. Look at that. Lulu's treasure trove.
Woohoo! She's right there. I see her.
Awesome. She's here. That's awesome. So congratulations to Lulu Treasure Trove. So do you want the animal cuties? Do you want to give this to someone else? Do you want seeds? Let us know what you want so somebody could claim their prize. Congratulations to Lulu's Treasure Trove. So just make sure if you win, you put it in all caps. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting this. So I'm thinking this is you want it. So congratulations, Lulu's Treasure Trove. Okay, we got some hot sauce. Eye of the Scorpion. So who's gonna win some hot sauce? If you don't want the hot sauce, you can just go, I want seeds, or you can give the hot sauce to someone else. Seeds are always available for any kind of win. David Gray.
He's gonna love that.
So congratulations, David Gray. I think I seen David Gray in the chat before.
He was here earlier.
So
Lulu is saying that she would like to give it to another channel. Where to go? Scrolled up.
Oh, there we go. Well, Lithalia's Little Hook. So that's Melanie Titus. So Melanie, make sure you message me at gardenstategarden@yahoo.com to claim your prize. And thank you, Lulu's Treasure Trove, for doing that. That's awesome. So now we're looking for David Gray, if they're still in the chat. And
he's asking what he won. Yeah.
David Gray, you won some Eye of the Scorpion hot sauce. So let us know if you want the Eye of the Scorpion hot sauce. Okay, seeds. Two more winners. We got our next. I will take the hot sauce, please. Yes.
I knew he would.
Robot Gopher, you won yourself some seeds. Let us know what kind of seeds do you want. It's all your traditional seeds. So we got David Gray wants the hot sauce. We got that. That is awesome. So now we're looking for Robot Gopher for seeds. One last one before we start up. So it's regular Baker Street, Dwarf tomatoes, hot peppers. And my gardener seeds, Mary Heirloom seeds. So, awesome that we have everybody coming here to Mid-America. Idaho Garden Girl. Idaho Garden Girl is so lucky on this channel. I absolutely love it. I mean,
she's always winning.
She's always winning.
She was here earlier a little bit, but
so she usually chooses. Still here. Let me get some. It's either hot peppers or dwarf tomatoes. But
Robot Gopher saying Baker Creek.
Baker Creek, awesome. So Robot Gopher, you won yourself some lettuce, tennis ball lettuce.
Ooh,
tennis
adorable.
Ball lettuce.
Ooh, those would be good grilled on the barbecue.
This is really good. This is a great variety, by the way.
Now we're offering the recipes.
Okay, and now we're looking for Idaho Garden Girl. She's still in the chat.
Yeah, there she is. Oh, no. Sorry, that's someone else. Similar name.
Okay, so she has a chance to, for a little while, claim that prize. And let's welcome our guest. So this is awesome. Here is... This is freaking awesome. I feel like doing a jib jab right now. This is Mountain Grandma. This is Tammy. And there's Lisa from Yogi Hollow Farm.
Oh, my partner in crime.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Tammy. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Tammy. Tammy, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
There we go.
Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Joe. Good to see you.
Hi. How are you guys doing? So you down there chatting away?
Yeah. Doing well. How about yourselves?
I'm excited to grow. That's all I'm excited.
Me
Last
too.
year killed me. Last year absolutely killed me not being able to get outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was
Right.
brutal.
Yeah. I had
That's
a similar
exciting.
experience last year. Well, different, but I couldn't grow. So super excited to be doing that this year.
I'm
You
hoping to
guys-
plant out next weekend. So wish me luck. We're supposed to be above 50 starting Saturday night.
Good luck.
Wow.
Let's
I'm
hope.
surprised. I'm out before you.
I know.
Crazy year.
I have to because we have to play the cover on cover game. I was
Yeah.
hearing what he was saying, but if I don't get stuff out, it's just not going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got both greenhouses planted and the brassicas and some beans planted.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else will go out the first week in June.
Now, how's Lisa? Since you're talking about the greenhouse and growing, how is that going? How's your movable greenhouse? Do you like it?
I love that movable.
I
green.
love it. It's a learning curve, but I love it. This one has, because the materials are given to us, and they were actually came from a nursery. Someone I knew bought a nursery, and they're not using it as that. So they took the panels down and gave it to us. And so they're clear versus being frosted. And so I want to see how that goes this year, but the greenhouse is packed full in containers. And then the other one, the initial one, Joe, from last year, it has 21 tomatoes in it because we put raised beds in it. And I can still fit pots down the middle if I have to, which is what I'm going to have to do because I have no room for cucumbers. Tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers have to be in the, well, for the most part, have had to be in the greenhouse.
Could you hang them?
I could, but I worry that they will shade out the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember when you started with the Swiss chard in that greenhouse.
Your Swiss chard.
And you're like, wow, this is awesome. Look at it. Everything generated. Everything was, that was awesome.
And we harvested it in snow. That was even more exciting.
It's still alive.
I am amazed how cold we had a super cold winter this winter. We had so much snow and it melted, and I had this kale. It was like, and I had some parsley coming up, and my tarragon overwintered. Like,
wow, isn't that wonderful?
So exciting. Except for Dexter keeps trying to eat the tarragon.
I'm amazed because we did not have the snow that we typically get compared to the rest of South Dakota. We were in a dry pocket, did not get as much as we needed. Other places had records. However, we had awful cold, and I'm surprised my garlic survived -47 wind chills sitting in the ground because we were at -38 or something like that, temperature wise.
You were ridiculously cold.
It was, this winter was brutal cold.
I could hardly watch your videos.
I didn't want to be in
without a jacket.
I know. I was like, I can't watch this. I'm too cold. Turn up the fireplace. Finish watching these poor videos.
Michelle was like, Lisa's actually got a jacket on.
It didn't snow once in New Jersey this year.
That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
That is crazy.
So 2 months ago, we had a mosquito. It was like this big, and I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be brutal."
No!
I never seen a mosquito that big before.
We had just snow after snow after snow.
So, Tammy, which is Mountain Grandma, tell us about your goal series, because I've been noticing you're doing a lot of cooking and goal series. Tell us, everybody, about what are you talking in the goal? What's your main purpose with that?
Sure. So Lisa and I meet every Tuesday. Right now, we're always on Mountain Grandma channel. Sometimes we were on Lisa's channel. Who knows? We might go back to flip-flopping again in the future. We'll see how that goes. But it's basically just about bringing people together, talking about what your goals are, and motivating each other, giving each other tips and encouragement and excitement to achieve those goals. And I know it works. It works for me. It does keep me on my toes every week. I better get something done, and it's something that I've always tried to do in regards to goal setting, because I am someone who has so many hobbies, always wants to do so much stuff. And it's easy to let some things slip. So the 7F, when you see that, it just speaks to the important 7Fs in your life. And Rochelle, I know she made a fun. Anyway, faith,
we won't go there.
So faith, family, friends, fun, future, and fitness. Not in any necessarily order of importance, putting that fitness last there, but
fitting that Big Mac in you.
I had a different list.
Fitting that Big Mac. That's good, Lisa. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so that's what we do. We come together, we talk with different channels, and we hear about them. Everybody, whether they write down their goals or not, they've all got some kind of idea of what they want to achieve, what's important to them, what they're hoping to get done in a year. So hearing about them with what they're doing and how they're going about it, and challenges and, big wins, it's just so fun. So that's what we do.
Okay, stop with the food, Mike. I'm intermittent fasting and I'm done for the night. So I don't want to hear about any food. No.
Yeah, we will. So I've been doing, we moved to Missouri and end of September. So that's what kind of threw my gardening out the window last year, was the move. And I have massive garden space here, and I have been just trying to plug it little by little. I've got so much video that I need to just edit and pull together to show everybody what's going on. But I've got a nice little corn crop area that I'm hoping to grow corn for the first time ever this year.
Exciting.
And about 10 different kinds of tomatoes, just all kinds of fun, lots of new herbs. And I was super surprised that the Arctic blast didn't kill lemon balm that's growing right in my
no. No, lemon balm grows here. No, nothing kills lemon balm.
I couldn't believe it.
I think it would survive a nuclear blast. Yeah.
I had some rose bushes that survived, and they now have neighbors because I needed a place to put things. So I'm growing turnip greens and radishes kind of all around my roses, and they're big old pretty barrels. So we'll see how that does. But I love gardening because it's always a new experience, right?
It's fun. Just heads up, Indiana garden girl wants micro dwarf tomato.
Micro dwarf. Okay.
She came in and mentioned it a couple times, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Idaho garden.
But I don't want to forget.
And
I get Indiana and Idaho.
It was Idaho, I think.
Idaho. Whoever won the seeds, that's what she wants. I get the channel names mixed up all of the time. I don't get the channels mixed up, just the names.
Lisa, you have a Friday show. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting because we're so limited on time. I'm breaking you guys up. I'm sorry so much, Rachel.
That's all right. You keep us to task.
You sound like my teachers.
Yeah.
You want to see my teachers? My teachers wouldn't give a crap. So, Lisa, you have a show every Friday.
Yep, Friday
Tell us
nights.
a little bit about your Friday show, what time and everything.
Friday nights we do it live, and it's 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, and so that's 8:30 Central and 9:30 Eastern, and you can figure out the rest. And we usually do it for an hour. I don't always have guests. I usually do updates, or I will do guests if I can. I apologize. Diesel knows I'm live. That's what the barking is. And so, so we try to do some updates, talk about what's going on. We like to connect with everybody. So yeah, that's about it.
You know, all your homesteading skills are off the chart. I love everything that you're doing on channel because I'm learning. I live in Jersey. We don't have any homesteading around here. You go to the store a quarter mile down the street, you know? And so I absolutely love what you do. I do learn a lot, and I wish I could be there on Friday, but I'm Ubering from one job to the next, and I wish I could be there because I would definitely be there all the time.
I totally get it. We had to rearrange things to be here tonight, but thank you for having us. We really appreciate it because I'm 2 hours behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
it's dinner time.
Yeah, in fact, Ryan's eating right now.
Keep it down, Ryan.
On the weekends because we'll work until dark, pretty much, and then get things going. And we actually have long, bright days, as you can see.
And for Joe and Dane, I see you in the background. You guys going to go live in 4 minutes, just to let you guys know. And we're going to spin the wheel after everything's done. So a lot of stuff to give away. I got so much stuff. It's freaking awesome.
Cool.
So do you guys plan to have something to do next? Something kind of change, something new on your channel that you plan on doing? Or together?
Yep, I think there's a couple of things. So I'll just talk about my channel and then I'll lead it into Tammy. But real quick, we had taken a break from the Homesteading Academy. We're going to be getting back on that. So if anybody listening wants to be a part of that and come on and talk about a topic that they feel they're really good about and can share about, I'd love to have you on. Email me. It's on my About page. And the other thing is just now we're into the gardening season. We're expecting pigs in July and all that kind of stuff. And then Mountain Grandma and I are talking, and we always talk about thrifty homesteading on our channel and efficient use of space. But Tammy and I are going to be doing a sourdough collaboration that we're still working on, and I'll let Tammy talk about that.
Yep. So we are going to be doing a sourdough in September collaboration. And we're going to be reaching out to some people. If anybody knows that they're interested and wants to be a part of it, feel free to email us now and get put on the list. But our plan is basically to just have people share all things sourdough. It's something that Lisa and I she started before me and then coached me along when I started doing it. And I have been having a blast just cooking all kinds of sourdough stuff. So for the collaboration, we're just thinking people could do all things sourdough. If they want to do a how-to, their biggest challenges, share some recipes. I don't know. I've been dehydrating the sourdough also. I mean, whatever anybody wants to share. And this will be in September. So we'll have, people that are participating, and then we'll do the big drawing at the end of the month. I just love those. I think they're so fun and engaging for everybody. So that's our plan. Lisa?
And we also want to be able to, and Barb, I see you, and we also want to make sourdough less intimidating.
Yes.
Because a lot of people freak out and think that it's so hard. And hello, I did it. It's not hard. So, but.
And I think the recipes that people share are going to be amazing too, because if you go to look up sourdough recipes, if you use, United States units versus English units, you got to convert everything. So if we have people that share recipes and they do that conversion for folks, I think that's going to be so appreciated by people. So we're super excited to be launching that. Other things that I've got going on my channel, a lot of I need to share the videos that I've been taking of everything. We've had so much going on, from glassing eggs to making fruit roll-ups and working on the garden around here and just all kinds of stuff. So I'll be sharing some of that, and really looking forward to the September collaboration.
Well, that is awesome, ladies. And thank you so much for coming on. I wish I could have so much more time. I wish I just had an endless amount of time. We could do this for hours. And Rachel, you could be on for 6-7 hours.
I can talk all night long. Yeah. But I can't stay up. I'm getting old now. I can't. We've been doing this job for 2 weeks, and we have to get up at like 5:15 every morning. And it's just, the evenings are brutal. Yeah. So I've been going to bed nice and early.
Thanks for having us, Joe. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is awesome.
And so go check out Lisa at Yogi Hollow Farm and Tammy at Mountain Grandma. And you'll definitely have a great time there. And you'll learn a lot and have a lot of fun. That's what life's about, right?
Yep, especially if you like piggies.
That's right.
Naughty piggies.
And I can't wait to see those piggies. I can't wait to see them.
Naughty piggies who like to run around.
Okay, guys, I'll talk to you soon, and I'm looking forward to those naughty piggies.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Whoop. I don't know what I just. Oh, bye. Whoops.
Tammy's flying around.
So this is Joe and Dana. Thank you so much for coming on. This is
Hello.
a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
I'm so happy there's not an echo. I'm always so worried about that.
Yeah, me too.
So, first thing I want to talk about, you guys are youth pastors.
Yes.
Yes. When did that all start with you? Like, did you start at a young age from going to church? Was you just born with it, going when you're little? Like, how did you find a love of God in that kind of way?
Okay, so I'll start off with me because I always tell this story all the time. So I want to say maybe I was probably in my teens, and my dad, I was probably about 18, and my dad told me, I was probably about 17, and my dad go, I see that you're going to be a pastor. And I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? Like, no, there's no way. Absolutely not. Don't say that to me. I don't want to hear that. No. So then I meet my wife, my girlfriend at the time, which is sitting beside me, a few years later. And she looks at me and she was looking at me. And I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, it's scaring me a little bit. And she's like, you know what? God just told me that you're going to be a pastor. And guys, I absolutely cursed her out. Like, don't say that to me. Don't you ever. I don't know what's wrong with you. I am not about to do this. No, stop saying that to me. Why do people keep on saying this? That's isn't. And she's like, I don't care what you say. You're going to be my pastor. God already said it. Like, you got the ability to lead and people follow you and you love God unconditionally. I mean, you got what it takes. And I'm like, no, this is not going to happen. Nope. You want to talk about when, as far as we was looking for somebody to marry us, and we couldn't find nobody. We went everywhere, guys. I mean, everywhere, trying to find somebody to marry us because we wanted to get married in the church, and everybody wanted to charge us like big amounts of money, huge amounts of money.
Because we didn't have a church. We weren't parishioners anywhere. We didn't have a membership in any church at the time. We were still fairly young, and we kind of went around to different churches. We were in the same church that we grew up in as children, so we were looking for somewhere to go. And so that's how it all began. We went to going to a church. My sister-in-law introduced us. She said, "Oh, come to my church. You know, my pastors will marry you." And we were like, okay. So we ended up going to that church, and we fell in love with it. My husband began being a drummer there, and then I began. We just both were just visiting, and after so long, we ended up joining. We got married, we joined, and then after that, we started getting closer to God, doing more prayer, doing different things. For us, when it comes to kids have always. We've been parents for several years. We were young teenage parents, so kids always kind of flocked to us. When it came to our yard and things of that sort. When it came to even our yard, we just started kind of growing back grass and things of that sort because our kids are known for. The kids in the neighborhood known for kickball games, known for coming down to have activities or whatever else. So I think our pastors kind of noticed that. Our pastors noticed us even being young parents, our children, how behaved they are. Like right now, we do have a daughter who's 21. Well, she'll be 21 in October, third year in college for child psychology. We have a young son who's also going to be 18 this year, and a son that's also going to be 10. So they kind of noticed our behaviors, our children's behaviors, their respect levels, and their mannerisms, and then it's over a time period. I guess it just ended up happening over. We really didn't know how it was going to happen, if we were going to get ordained or whatever, but we just knew how our spirits flew with children, how they kind of flocked to us and kind of told us they felt comfortable enough to tell us and share things with us. So I think that's how it all began. For our love of God, just, having our relationship. And, for me, I dealt with a lot of depression over the years. I dealt with a lot of anxiety and things of that sort. And I used to always try to find like all these self-help tapes and all these different breathing techniques. I found a lot of different things I thought was going to work. Nothing worked. I mean, it would, one thing after next. I was spending money. I was wasting time just to keep going back into that same emptiness, that same loneliness, that same dark feeling. And for a while, I lost my smile. So it was kind of like, for me, I was like, oh man, what's going on? I used to be so smiley, so cheerful. What is going on here? And that's when I think, when I started praying, I started getting closer to God. I think that's where a lot of that helped me. And so when he began to restore my smile and my joy, my happiness, my peace, I was like, well, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Like, there's nothing I wouldn't do for you now. God, you know what? That's something I've always wanted back again. I wanted to be able to smile. I could watch a comedy, a TV show, and not even laugh at it. That's how bad it was. If you can watch a comedy and sit through stand up, or you can sit through any type of comedy film and not get one giggle out, there's something off. And it was off for me, because I was used to the joy and the happiness. And so once I was able to be restored, when God restored that, I was like, well, you know what, God, I need that. I needed that back again. And I will definitely do whatever you want me to do. I'll serve you, whatever it is. And so I think that's what helped us so far as, doing with the youth and, doing different things with them. I mean, and it's fun. And it just, it's a refreshing thing. It's a refilling thing for us as well. Do you think so?
Yeah. And even like to go back a little bit for me, I still wasn't kind of receiving it. Like I was like, I'm just a church drummer. I'm just a church drummer. I don't want to be anything but a church drummer, and that's it. And it just kept coming back, prophecy after prophecy, going to different churches, and and then over the time period, just like she was saying, God spoke to me himself, and he's like, this is what you called to do. This is like, you have the ability to help children change by leading them to me. And so I'm like, because I know their lingo, I know how to how to get down and you know, to their level, but at the same time, I know how to keep them at a level, on a level of God at the same time. So that's what kind of led me in that, you know, that direction. And just knowing how good God is and what he could do for me, I know he could do it for the next. And just having that ability to be able to show a young teen or a child that, you know, God can do it, no matter what you're going through or whatever you're going to face, that God can do it. And so, like, man, I'm just like, it excites me to even just think about, you know, a person struggling and God could just, you know, come in and just take it all away just because you ask. You know what I'm saying? Just because you ask.
So I got a question for you with that. Like, before I started something else, do you ever hit Dana with the ball playing kickball to get her off her feet? And the second thing is, you have a great voice. You have absolutely great voice, Joe.
Thank you.
And how do you take that step to actually say, I'm going to sing this? This is all, you know, you had enough confidence to do it.
Kickball first.
I want to know about the kickball. I want to know about the kickball first.
So kickball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever kick me? Do you ever kick me with the kickball to get me off my feet?
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
You just gave an idea now, so
Yeah.
watch out. Watch out, Dana.
He never thought about that. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
You know,
New
something to
kicks
think
on,
about,
yeah.
Joe.
Put your new kicks on.
Especially during the days when I got the grill going, you know. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah.
Nothing like a man with his grill and a ball.
Yeah, you know, for me, Joe, it was actually kind of a thing that I used to sing when I was a young youth. I never had sung in front of nobody before. I actually sung to my wife like almost like right away. I don't know why. It was just something I did or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, you got a good voice." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I really never even thought about even having a good voice. And so I was playing drums one day, and one of the guys didn't show up who leads songs, and I just automatically knew I know music. I can hear it. I've been around it all my whole life. Like, even being a drummer, I have brothers that play instruments. Some of them they play for like big known gospel artists right now. And so I just knew music. And like I said, one day he didn't show up, and they were struggling. And so I just started singing. And the choir director at the time the praise team leader at the time just looked over at me, and she goes, "You can sing?" And I'm like, I think I can. I don't know. I can keep up. And she's like, sing it again. And so I just began to sing it again. And it was just something that, I mean, God just, he uses me in that area. And I never knew that. Like, I never knew that was going to be my main focus. Like, praise and worship is my ministry. Like, I am a youth pastor, but praise and worship is my main ministry, you know? And so that's how it all started. And I went from that day playing drums to finding a whole nother drummer within like a couple of weeks. And I was on the praise and worship team leading most of the songs. Yeah.
Dana, did you ever start crying hearing Joe sing?
Oh, definitely. I still do. There's just times I can't help it. Just because just to see, you know, his growth. Me and Joe have been together since we were teenagers. He was 19, I was 17. And so now I'm going to be 36 and he's 38. So all these years, you know, you watch as we're teenagers growing together and, you know, becoming adults and parents and, you know, walking with God and all these different things. You see a transformation between both of us. And it just blows me away just to watch him be used by God over and over again, and just a transformation, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, you know. It's not just necessarily the singing, but it's just a movement. You know, you can just see the movement, and it's just like, oh wow, it's a beautiful thing. So yes, definitely.
Now I see you guys been working out. I enjoy that. I see you on the treadmill, Joe. You know, you're going. I think that's great that you guys are working out together. And, you know, you got salmon on a grill now. I asked that when you last time. You got cooked salmon. But I never will ever forget the rest of my life when you took those ribs out and that was coming right off the bone. It was so good. I'm like, and my mouth is still like, I want those ribs. They will stay with me for the rest of my life.
You gained
really
5 pounds just watching that video.
I think I lost 5 pounds of saliva.
It balanced out. You're good.
I definitely didn't gain weight watching that.
Actually cooking, Joe, was my first passion. That was my first passion. That's what I wanted to do in life first. I always wanted to be a cook. Like I don't know. I just wanted to cook for people, and I always have. Yeah, just when I learned how to cook, I just started cooking. Mm-hmm. Like I would cook for people no matter where, from near and far, wherever we were at. I'm talking about big crowds of people. I would just cook. Like me and my wife both. Like when we met, she knew how to bake, and I knew how to do the cooking part. I wasn't a baker at all. Like I would burn up anything, and she taught me how to bake. And I taught her what I knew how to cook. Mm-hmm. And then we just kind of came together. And for a while, like I said, we just would cook for everybody. People would come over our house on Sundays, and we would just cook.
All the holidays
and everything.
So what's your address?
Nowadays,
I'm free next Sunday.
Okay, that sounds good.
Think about it. Nowadays, you're going to get a lot of healthy food at our house nowadays.
It's still gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. It's still gonna get. You're gonna be good, but we get it. We are on a life-changing. Like I said, I call it a life-changing transformation, because it's not like a diet for us anymore. It's
exactly.
More, this is our life we're looking at.
We used to always say we were doing a lifestyle thing, but we didn't really. We will only do it for so long, and then we would be like, okay, it's time to celebrate by eating some ice cream, some cake, some candies.
Yeah,
let's go to the buffet. Let's celebrate. We lost some weight. Let's go to the buffet. But now, I think this is the time this is like the first time for like really being like serious, Yeah. Not just talking about it, but really being serious, not just letting it be a deadline, or it's just like really let's do this and let's be serious about it.
Yes, like I basically right now. Joe, and the crazy thing about it, I basically almost lost half of me already. I know it's kind of hard to read, but I done lost like half of me. Yes, I have.
There's a lot of difference when you bowl, right?
Oh yeah, I know there's a lot of difference when I bowl. Everything is just totally different. Like my clothes sizes, I'm 7X down to a 2 and 3X. So it's like just everything is like. It's life-changing. Everything is different. Like it's so different. I always talk about it. We always talk about it. And we just sit here and just talk about it, because it's like such a, to be able to just jump up and do things and not say, "Hey Joe, could you come get it?" I'm calling my kids to do the little smallest things. Just being transparent. Transparent here. Hey Joe, could you come get this for me? Can you go get that for me? And now I can't even. My kids like, "Dang, Dad, you gonna call? Do you ever call me?" And I'm like, I can go downstairs and do what I want to, and go grab this and go grab this and go get this, and we vice versa, getting each other stuff for us out of the dryers, and this is a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Now, Joe, just to let you guys know, Joe. Before I get to Dana, we got 2 more discussions really quick. Joe bowls and Joe drives Uber. We have so much stuff in common.
Yes, we do.
And you have the same name.
Yeah, we have the same.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's like, whoa. When am I coming over?
Whenever you want.
You're probably closer.
Whenever you want.
Yeah, a lot closer. So, people might ask you this on a ride. What is your craziest Uber ride?
Oh my God, Joe.
People ask me that every single week.
I can't even tell you my craziest Uber story on here, because it just happened to me recently. Yeah, it was pretty wild, pretty wild story. And I couldn't even believe the young lady was asking me for what she was asking me for. I told her that ain't how we do things. And, that's not going to work around here. Literally, she's a college student. Yep. And she asked me for drugs. Literally, she did. She asked me, do I know where to get marijuana from first? And then she turned around and asked me, do I know where to get crack cocaine from? And she was just like dead serious about it. Like she was so like adamant about getting it. Like she was adamant about getting it. I'm like, no, that's not. Of course, me being a minister, I'm going to minister. Me being Joe, I'm going to be Joe. I'm like, no, that's not how we do things. No. She's like, no, I haven't had any in a long time and trying to explain. I'm like, no, you shouldn't have any at all. Like that shouldn't even be something that you shouldn't even, even think about, And she was a college student from overseas. And, like I told her, I said, I'll pray for you. If that's something you're dealing with, I will pray for you. I called my wife up and I told her, I said, that's, pray for the young lady. We don't know what she may be dealing with. College may be hard for her. She might be missing home. I don't know what it is. I'm not there to judge her, but at the same time, I'm not going to give it to her. I can tell you that much.
Maybe
So,
I got to start doing that in Uber rides. You got to see the stuff comes out of my Uber.
yeah.
You got the Jersey Shore. People are fist pumping. People
Oh,
not
yeah.
wearing anything. You see some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's you get a story every single week.
Oh yeah, you do.
And you got to see. I've never seen so many people pass out in my car before.
Oh yeah.
And you can't. The hardest thing is never touch anybody. Never help them to the house.
Nope.
Everything that you used to do old in the day, out of there.
Yep.
Nobody passes out in my car. I take them to the police station.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
You can't do anything. You're the target.
Yeah. Yep. That's all you can do. Yep.
Yeah.
So Triple C. When did you start crocheting? Was it a family thing passed down, or when did you start grabbing the hook and start going?
I was 10 years old when I first grabbed a hook. I was how it happened was I was looking at some encyclopedias. My grandmother raised me up and she used to always buy us encyclopedias, me and my brother. And so I would go through each one as they would come into the mail. I would go through each one. So I remember getting into the letter C, going through each one, and I noticed there was the word crochet. I don't know if I pronounced it right or not, but I just noticed there was a hook and there was like this different, they were making something in it with this in the encyclopedia, because this was before Google and all that good stuff. So, I had to look at this. I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, wow. I asked my grandmother, I'm like, what is this? And she's like, oh, well, it's crochet. And I have a sister who crochets and a niece who crochets. And you could actually, I'll have them send something so that way you can get started. I'm like, okay. And before they send me some goodies, I ended up using a pipe cleaner trying to make my own crochet hook, which it didn't really work so well because it bent up on me. But I ended up getting the things in the mail. I was 10 years old and I started making different things. I had they gave me a crochet book with some yarn and some hooks. And I just started going from there. And so it's been almost 26 years now. And I started off making baby items and things of that sort. And then it just started blossoming. I started blossoming into making clothing and accessories. And my husband, he really kind of got me into pushing me out even more by like posting me on different social medias and things of that sort, so more people could see my work, because I really didn't think it was all of that, but I started getting a little bit more and more to where I could make more things, and it went from just being a hobby to now I even teach people. I've taught people over the years how to crochet as well. Doing free classes for pregnant mothers and expectant mothers and their families as well. So it really wasn't. It's not. I don't think it's many people in my family who've crocheted. I do have the cousin that sent me the items. She is 90 years old now. She lives in Ohio. She lives a little bit away from me. I've never met her. I always wanted to meet her and just tell her thank you, but I've never met her. And it was a blessing that she sent me these items. But yeah, I taught my daughter. I ended up teaching my daughter, and I taught my husband how to crochet. But I'm trying to keep it going. I want to keep it going in the family if possible. I think that would be a nice thing.
It's so important right now to do that, to pass it on and make it therapeutic, for themselves mentally and everything. And just something simple.
Yeah, you're right. That's my daughter. She came home and she has a guinea pig, and she crocheted her guinea pig a little blanket, and she got that done and so quick. And she's like, oh wow! And now one of her friends in college, she's like, when you come back, can you teach me? So she's gonna teach one of her friends when she gets back. But she's like, Mom, you know what? I got to get back into doing this. I didn't realize how relaxing it is. I said, yeah, it is. A lot of people do it, as just a relaxing thing, And she's like, yeah, I got to get back into doing it. So yeah, definitely.
Now, do you guys have a garden?
Actually, Joe, my dad, before he passed, my dad would always plant a garden, a small garden at my mom's house forever. And so I always, every year, go and plant this garden, no matter what, at my mom's house. Yep. And it's only a few things, but she usually do it. Collard greens, bell peppers, tomatoes, banana peppers. Did I miss anything? And maybe like a cucumber here and there.
Yeah.
Or we'll just try something
Maybe
random,
some
a few
mustard
things,
greens.
maybe a mustard or turnip greens
Yeah,
here and there.
yeah.
But yeah, at my mom's house, we'll do that every
Mhm.
year, and usually we'll just go over there and get stuff, when we need to get it because it grows like a weed. My
Mhm.
dad has that spot, so I mean it grows, and it's been growing like that for years. My mom been living in the same spot for 49 years this year, upcoming year. So yeah, we all grew up in this house. So yeah, so this spot is literally, it grows. I mean, it grows like crazy. I'm talking about this tomatoes until it gets cold. They still be growing out there. Bell peppers too, it get cold. Oh, onions. I forgot onions. We do like the little onions there every now and then too as well. There's a few things we didn't grew there. We tried watermelons like years ago. They came out pretty well out there years ago. But I always wanted this spot extended. For years, I always wanted to. And I think that's what I'm going to do one of these years. But I always wanted to, I wanted it bigger because it's like a strip. It's like it's quite lengthy. But I always wanted to extend it out this way just a tad bit wider because it grows so well in that spot. I mean, it just grows. For years, we had dogs and, so I believe maybe a lot of manure maybe got in that area and, maybe it really fertilized that area really well, so, but it's literally, yeah. So that's what we usually do.
That's awesome. Everybody should be having a garden right now, some kind of formal way.
Yes.
If you guys ever need seeds, let me know. I'll get you seeds, whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
So anything I could help you guys out.
Oh, wow.
I mean, hey, you're in a life-changing mood. You're in a lifestyle mood. This is your lifestyle.
Right.
Yes.
You're right.
So if I could help you guys out on your journey, I would help you out any kind of way.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
I would recommend herbs because especially if you're trying to be healthy and you want to jazz up some dishes.
We definitely love herbs.
Yes, because we use a lot of herbs as it is right now.
And a lot of herbs are actually perennial too, right? So you're not having to plant them.
Oh, that's really good. I never knew that.
Oh,
wow.
I never knew that. Yeah, we do basil and
rosemary, thyme, garlic.
I'm not sure what zone you are, but yeah, rosemary should be perennial if you're down.
Yeah, what state do you guys live in?
Indiana.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's a bit colder. You're 5 or are you 6 zone? We'll have to ask Indiana Gardner in the chat. She will know what's perennial in your zone.
I don't know.
Well, like tarragon, I'm up in Toronto area and my tarragon came back this year. Chives come back every year. You can overwinter. Oregano, mint, of course, lemon balm comes back.
Chives is great. I love chives.
Chives are amazing. And mine are getting ready to flower. You can make a nice vinaigrette with the flowers. And
wow. Yeah, that sounds great.
You can use them as a border. Yeah. And they're cheap. You drop them in and they come back every year. I've had the same ones in that pot for probably 12 years.
Oh, wow.
I do nothing. It sits out in the winter in the snow and every spring it comes back. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
And I have lemon thyme.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's a definite. That's a beautiful smell on that one. And that, it's the perennial.
Oh, I bet it is. Oh, wow. Yes. That's amazing.
So when do you guys go live? Like, what's your schedule? Is it a standard schedule just to let everybody know? Because there's a lot of new people that have never seen you guys before that. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should go check out Triple C and check out Joe. And what time do you guys go live? Because I know you guys go live together, but time changes and time, Uber and everything changes.
Yes, usually for me on my channel where I usually do a morning craft hour about 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So that's usually about 9:30 a.m. till about 11 a.m. where I do a craft. Start with a prayer, and then I start doing a greeting of everyone there, and then we start doing crafts. So not always it might not be always yarny crafts, but it could be like paper crafts, beading, any types of things. I might use some like my Cricut, and I'll make cards, or I'll customize some oven mitts or just something fun like that. I'll do something like that. But it's always a giveaway. I always end up with a giveaway at the end. And that's pretty much it. I always do that. Also at night, it's usually Monday through Friday, about 10:30 p.m. Eastern, where me and my husband come together. If it's not me and my husband come together, I'm by myself there doing something for the members, sharing some videos or doing some game nights where we do prizes and things of that sort. Or, that's about it. We might be trying some new items. A lot of times we'll do like a Tuesday night where we'll try new items. Sometimes people will send us things in and for us to try something they may have made, something that they swear by, one of their, products that they enjoy, or it could just be something that my husband, he's really picky. So we kind of have some fun with that, where we try a lot of different things that he may not exactly want to enjoy, but it's something that we enjoy trying together, whether it be a healthy dish, whether it be something exotic. We've done octopus, and we've had things like clams and different types of things. I've been eating a little tofu, so we've tried tofu tacos together. We've done all kinds of just little fun activities, frog legs, and so much more. We have a little bit of fun there. And if it's not that, we might even try a new craft or just something new that we've never done, something to experience. One night I taught him how to make a hat because he never made one before, and he wanted to learn how to crochet a hat together. So we did that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But you always do something where you're bowling as well.
Yeah,
your lives.
it just all depends on far as my bowling. So my bowling is it just depends on which nights I bowl. Last year it was kind of a switch up. So I went live on Monday and Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays and Tuesdays, because I bowled league Monday and Tuesdays last year. My team that I normally bowl with on Friday night decided not to bowl last year because it was just so much. Everybody couldn't get off work, and then things was going on. So I ended up bowling with a team that I was actually just going to bowl with them 1 year and, go back to my regular team. But this now will become my regular team, because literally with this team, it was the same team, and they got rid of one guy. They came in dead last last year, absolutely dead last year. They got rid of one guy and brought me in this year. And because I am such a team guy, like I'm a team guy, I'm not no guy we're not going to bowl against each other. We're not going to do any of that. I'm going to help you as much as I possibly teach you as much as I know. And we're going to be a team first and foremost. I don't care what place we come in, but we're going to be a team. And so literally I kind of brought in that mentality. And these guys was already pretty decent bowlers as it was. And guys, we won first place this year in that league. And it finished dead last year. Dead last.
So what's your high game, Joe? Or how many times have you done it?
My high game is 300.
Yep.
My game is 300. I have 14 of those things.
That's so awesome.
Yes. I actually had two within a 6-week period this year. I was in the process of losing weight, and everything felt great. Just everything felt great. And then after that, I lost a ton of weight after that, and everything felt really bad because nothing fit my hand. And I didn't realize my stuff wasn't fitting my hand. That was a bad thing about it. I'm struggling. Everything felt great until I got to the foul line, and I just never realized. And finally, my wife said, "Honey, do you really think? Did you ever check to see your stuff in your hand?" And so I just in front of her one day, I just put my hand in the ball, and I'm like, "It don't fit." Literally, everything was way too big, and I just wasn't realizing that I was putting that much tape in the ball and all of that. I'm just thinking, all my hands just shrinking up because it's cold outside. Because everything affects your hand. Everything affects everything in bowling. So the little things like. Everything, weather totally affects how your bowling ball fits you, but I'm not realizing that it's affecting this one. So I went through a little bit of a struggle. And after I ended up getting that fixed, went through a few different pitch changes and finger changes and all that, I have come back. I have been bowling pretty well, even better now, because literally, like I said, my legs are a lot better than what they were. So, yeah.
What days do you like to usually go live on? Usually Mondays.
So I usually go live on Monday. Right now, I'm going live on like Mondays. Tuesdays right now, because I'm actually bowling this like tournament league during the summertime. So I'm going live on like Tuesdays right now, Tuesday evenings. And right now it's just been kind of random. Depends on like if God gives me something, I'll go live. Or if God said, sometimes I'll just be sitting here and God be like, go and sing 5 songs. And he'll give me these 5 songs to sing, and I'll just flow. I'll just flow. And then you just see new people coming in. People be messaging me, watching in the background, talking about, God, thank you. I really needed that. You just don't know how much I needed that. And so it's just be kind of random when I go live. I want to try to get a schedule with that far as like me going live and doing praise and worship. But it's just kind of hard because for me, I'm more of a flow praise and worship leader. As I would say, like I don't like to be on a schedule and like have like a certain songs I'm going to sing, because like God don't use me in that aspect. He uses me in a way of where it's kind of random. A certain person at a certain time might need me at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? I'm needed for a certain time. So that's how God does with me. It's like, hey, I need you to go on now. And I'd be like, God, why now? It's so late. You know, sometimes I even question it. It's so late. Why would I want to go on this time? Or why I want to go on like right now? And he's like, I said right now. And, you know, so I'm very obedient in that area, and literally like somebody be blessed. Either way, is if it's me or somebody connected to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of random in that area, but yeah. Even now, I am going to be coming on doing like maybe some conferences and some things like that eventually. I have done a few like conferences where I had my pastors and my overseer. They actually came on my page on both our channels, and they have done like conferences and
cool.
Yeah, different stuff like that. And we have like do like a 2 or 3 day conference, and they like come up on them and they bring a word and, you know, get down, and I'll have somebody come do praise and worship, or I'll do it myself, you know, and just kind of organize in that aspect. And then people come in from all over. They come in from all over, you know, really needing it, you know. And so that's just kind of like the way my channel is. But I am going, like I told my wife, I am going to try to get a schedule of something, you know, whether it's me bringing a word or me literally doing some praise and worship back here. So, yes.
God bless you guys. You know, you guys are so, I really enjoy you guys as a couple separately. Everything about you guys, it's like, I love it. I really love it.
We love you too. We love you too, Joe. I mean,
you always
literally
come in with just always, you know, with such a great spirit, great, you know, motivation. You just we appreciate you very much.
Very much. That motivation and that spirit that you have, like, it is amazing. Like, you don't keep that, because that literally is everything. People be looking for that, Joe. Literally,
exactly.
Like I'm telling you, like it's like for me, when I meet a person like you, and I'm just make this quick, it like makes me feel like I've known you forever. Like literally, it makes me feel that way because you make me feel like that.
Exactly,
you don't make me feel like you just met me last week or something like that. The first time I ever met Joe, he was just like Joe is right now. He was laughing, he was bubbly. We was talking about barbecuing, we was talking about this, and it was like we knew each other forever. And that's a great thing to have in a person, you know.
It all comes from your heart.
Yes.
And if you treat people the right way and you have a heart, you know, it goes a far way. So
it does. You are so correct.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you, Joe, for this. We appreciate that.
It was very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Yes, nice meeting you as well.
Thank you for all the tips as well about the garden.
And if I'm ever in Indiana, I'm coming for dinner.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yes. And do you go live as well, Rochelle?
I do. I used to do 7:30 Eastern, and I've kind of, you know, I have my daughter's 14, and it just with summertime, I'm not going as often, and I find like everyone else is going live on Thursday nights. It just so if I do go live, I do Thursday nights. I'm kind of thinking of maybe changing it up a little bit, but I'm usually 7:30 Thursday nights.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely come visit you, Sam. You know, Joe.
And I do gardening and sewing.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah,
you guys have
a great night. Have a great night.
I'll see you guys soon. So that was interesting, wasn't it?
They're great. Yeah.
I thought it was
great. I haven't talked bowling in ages. I haven't been bowling in ages.
I kept on just going and going and going. I'm so sorry if I, kept on going. Just Joe is an amazing man, and so is Dana. But
Very inspirational. Yes.
Wow. He came where it looked like he could barely stand up off a chair and go bowling. You thought, and he had a bad knee, but he had a love and passion. You have a love and passion, you make and you got a beautiful wife willing to work with you and push you. You go far away. So I think that's pretty awesome.
No, that's a wonderful, wonderful story. Yeah.
So, we're going to get to the wheel, and we're going to end this tonight.
Integrated into alcoholic beverages now. So,
yeah. Let's see what we got. So anybody that wins, you're going to get a lazy days ahead. I don't know what you want to call these. The only thing I know, it rubs against my skin. It's a wrist thing.
Oh,
a wrist, whatever. So you put them in your wrist. It says lazy days ahead, which is really cool. You know what we used to do? I used to wear this is when my son was going through cancer.
Oh, okay.
And so we had with Castleman disease and all that kind of stuff. And just remind you, you know, life's precious.
Yes.
You know, and they're great for dieting too. So anytime you feel like you're hungry, just snap it a little bit, feel a little pain, you're good. So let me see. We're going to give away some yarn. Oh, we got the mystery box.
Ooh.
So
My public speaking teacher used to do that if we had any like ticks.
So there's a whole bunch of yarn in here.
We'd have to snap our wrists.
So that's the mystery box. Let me see.
The Lazy Days next tourniquet.
Mystery box. Then we got 3 of this color yarn.
It's pretty.
So 3 red yarn. Well, I just wrote it myself. And then we got the hottest popcorn in the world.
Oh.
This sounds like it's going to come out your butt.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. It's like, why do I hate myself? Like, it's like an extreme sport. You know, some people jump out of airplanes. Some people, you know, base dive, whatever it's called when you jump off buildings. And some people just eat ridiculously hot peppers.
You know what? When you dehydrate them, it's not bad at all. It's not as bad as you think. You just do a little tap. But if
I dehydrate them and throw them in with some salt, and I make spicy salt, and that works for me. And it's delicious, and that would be good on popcorn. I've done it on the cashews, but I've never done it on popcorn.
Have some of this. That's from Pucker Butt.
I love that name. They're not kidding.
And then we got seeds. We'll go 5 winners of seeds. And so we got mystery box.
You should start giving away bidets.
Oh, I'm going to give that away actually in White Family Farms.
Oh, wow.
Hooperween.
Awesome.
Contest this year.
Everyone should have one. I cannot say great enough things about them.
I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm
giving
away a bidet, guys.
Save the planet, save the trees, save your bum.
Yeah, you got to save the bum.
Save the bum.
Rochelle, she's first. She saves their bum. Thumbs up.
Now I can go eat the hot stuff.
Okay, let's get to the wheel. Time's already. Bacon Lego, let's dig it's after me. There is no Sunday Funday next week. I will be Ubering. So just let you guys know, I will be Ubering all weekend. I need to make a lot of money, and the Jersey Shore is absolutely packed. So I got to take advantage of that.
Go for it.
So let me shuffle for a little bit. Mystery box. And now remember, if you're a Joseph Journey member, if you're not here, you automatically win that prize. So each week I'm going to have a special gift. Next week will be a mystery box from Kohl's. So not next week, the next week following. And I'm looking right now, looks like Gary Pilarczyk will be the interview.
So nice. Yeah.
So that's it's this time of the season. It's very hard to confirm anything.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe you got me. So
yeah, I'm amazed. I'm so happy you came.
You know me, so busy.
Okay.
So busy on a Sunday night.
Mystery box. If nobody's here for the mystery box, we'll go on to next week. There's going to be a mystery box and a Kohl's mystery box. Oh, 2 weeks from now.
Double mystery.
Ooh. Lady Crafters. Fiber Creations. Are they in the chat?
Do.
Hey, we're like singing together now.
I know, it's like a duet.
It's the only singing we could do.
Yeah, I do not have a singing channel.
I try.
Yeah, people ask me to stop. So
I'll take it. Mary's Fiber Creations will take it.
awesome.
So that's awesome. So that goes here. And make sure you guys email me. So congratulations, Mary's Fiber Creations. Okay, here we go. Shuffle. 3 red. It's the red yard. But who's going to be the winner? Hope it's going to be Billy. Get your share. Love Billy that is scared. What a great man. Lisa Ellison. So Lisa, I think she's in the chat before. So congratulations to Lisa Ellison. You won yourself some red yarn. Let us know if you're still in the chat. So congratulations. This is awesome. Let's see if she's here. So,
To check the
Okay.
clock.
Oh, there she is. I want it. Thanks. Hey, this is an all-time live where everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
seems
you've
to
had
be-
everyone so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't
Who's ready
jinx
for
it.
the bunghole corn? Cornholio. Here we go. Whoop. I don't know what I just did. I was looking one way and I hit the wrong button, I think. Maybe not. Okay, this is for the Corn Inferno, the hottest popcorn in the world. Who's going to win? So, yes, we got Ellison, the next winner. Pamela Morrison. I think Pamela is here. So make sure you guys email me, gardenstategarden@yahoo.com. A lot of everybody here has basically been here for a while, so you guys should have my email. Just make sure you give me your address and exactly what you want. So congratulations, Pamela Morrison. Let us know. Do you want the Corn Inferno? I want it. Look at that.
We want it.
This is freaking amazing. Okay,
Okay, we want a live taste test.
Yeah, that'd be great for the next live. Okay, Chocolate Plague. Oh, Jimmy's not here. So let's spin it again. Jimmy's a hot pepper guru too. He would have been perfect for this. So you know what? Just in case, because we got to go by rules. Because if he does show up, I don't want to buy another one. Okay, seeds. 5 whenever seeds. 5 whenever seeds. He would have absolutely loved it. Imagine if he just pops in right now. He's freaking great. He's a great guy. He's the man with the stack. Froggy. I don't think Froggy's here, but she lurks a lot. So Froggy's a lurker, just like I am on her channel. So here we go. I Gale lurk all the time. I have 2 things going on during the day. Help support. Seed. That's right, thanks. Seed. Oh, that's too funny. Carrie and Froggy back and forth, back to back.
It's very yarny tonight.
Yeah, all the winners are yarny. That's
Yarn against crossing her fingers right now.
Yeah, if you're a yarny channel, you might be in
Yarner
good
channels
shape.
are winning tonight. You gotta shuffle it, Joe. You gotta shuffle.
I shuffled, I shuffle. I see everybody down the phone number right now. Hey, you won. What did I win? Seeds. Oh, that's too funny. You know what? PJ is awesome. I've met PJ. She lives right around the corner from my work, and I tried to send her email, I think 2 weeks ago. She hasn't responded, but she goes through she has some health issues once in a while. Hopefully PJ is okay. I do miss her friendship. I miss her being in the chat. Looks like once I go to see, nobody's here. Two more, last two. Who's it gonna be? Red Road. I don't think they are here.
I haven't seen the name, but they could be low.
And the last one for tonight. Hopefully we end out a winner. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Cal. It's gonna be Mike. It's gonna be Lori. Is it gonna be me? Who's it gonna be next one? It's gonna be Lisa or Arnica or Melanie. How is it? Who's it gonna be? Oh, that's the way to end the night. I can't still say Mama. See, I can't say it.
Adventures with Mama.
Adventure with Mama. Did I say it?
Yes.
That's
I think
the
so.
First time ever.
Sounded good to me.
Adventures with Mama. I think I said it.
Mama.
Adventures with Mama. I don't know. For some reason, I just can't say that. It's crazy. I never seen something like it where I just can't. As much practice as I. Now you know what Lethalia's little hook. I always said Lethal Leia.
Lethalia.
And
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
there's yeah.
You know, it's funny when they go to see G Mama grows.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody goes Jumana grows. No, it's G Mama. It's G Mama.
Yeah.
You know.
No, there's some channels and it's funny because they put the words together and you don't realize where the space is supposed to be, and it can be a couple different words, and you're like, what? It's like license plates. I can never figure them out.
Well, Rochelle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's already
it was an honor.
It's 9:30. Wasn't that fast?
That was fast.
It goes by so
if only
fast.
Workouts went that fast.
And I'm sorry, guys, if I said hi to everybody, this is a 5-hour live. I just want you to make sure you guys know I appreciate everyone here, and hopefully it shows up on your chats that I appreciate you. But when I do this live, there's just no time to say hi to everybody. You know,
and
that's
when
the
you have
reason why
people on the chat, and you're chatting, you can't even watch the chat. Like, it's so hard to even watch the chat when you have a guest on.
And that's the reason why I have so many mods, is to share. Everybody can share each other links, and everybody can share each other. And that's what it's about, is trying to help you guys out, you know. And I appreciate every one of you. And if for some reason, if you were a mod and took off, it's not my fault. A lot of YouTube channels are getting people off. Mods are not mods anymore. They're just taking people off. And so that's been going around for the last month. So if I received the email today, like, what did I do? What did I do? What are you talking about? You know, I haven't erased one mod ever, you know, and if you are, just let me know so I can put you back on, because you just don't know. You really don't know. But you are all loved here, and I appreciate everyone here it's Sunday night at 9:30, and I still want to talk, but I got to get off. Well, thank you guys so much. Everybody have a great night. And no Sunday Funday next week. We'll be on the next Sunday. So keep that as a note. All right. So I love you guys. Take care.